mean this is a show? We got a spot still.
We're going to get behind.
Yeah, Chewy. You're supposed to be working with us.
What's going on here? People don't know how to park in the parking lot.
It's
and
a
then we just
complete-
start. Turn this down a second.
It's turned into a mad.
Is this?
It's a Lord of the Flies around this building.
I know. Everybody's acting like a caveman.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, we got this Renegade
We got to
spot.
do Renegade.
And then Chewy just goes, no, this is the show.
Because this is the year of El Diablo.
What is...
What?
This is the year of El Diablo, Matt's truck. This is the year. It's going to be a big coming out party with
you're
Renegade.
in the spot. I thought you were calling...
No. I'm doing the spot because we're going to get behind if we don't. Renegade Truck Accessories, 12621 Research, where you can get your truck, your Bronco, your Jeep, your Wrangler, that's a Jeep, Bob.
I appreciate
your El Diablo truck.
I appreciate you doing all this.
Yeah.
But you do not let me leave here today.
Right.
Without me emailing Jim. Anybody can email Jim at renegadetruck.net, right?
That's right.
You can ask him questions you have about your truck and like that. He's asked me, hey, please send me some
specs.
And I keep forgetting to, and it's been weeks now.
You got to spec it out.
Don't leave me today. Don't let me leave here today without reaching out to him.
All right. If you're new to town, you're looking for a Jeep guy, a truck guy, a Renegade truck. These are the friendly folks. They never shame you when you
and
go
they don't
in there.
overlook
They
anything.
never look down their nose at you and go, ooh.
They know what's going on when it comes to suspension and tonneau covers and anything you're adding
Bed
on.
caps,
you could go do all the research you want to in the forums. Guess
winches.
what? They already know it plus some.
Plus some. That's right. That's right. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff for these vehicles now, and Jim knows it all. Go see him, 12621 Research, next to the
U-Haul, behind the oil change. RenegadeTruck.net.
There you go. Now we can
this
start.
Is the show.
Now we're on time. Oh my goodness!
I don't know what's happening.
Oh my
today.
God.
I'm teasing Chewy, but I did show up today, and there's somebody parked in your parking space.
Yeah.
The lights of the parking lot are all messed up and weird.
What's going on? The space. You can't even see the lines of the. I'm going to come out here with a white bucket of paint and redo the lines in the parking lot. You can't see where the line... I couldn't get in the driver's side of my car yet. Somebody parked so close to me yesterday. I had to go in through the... I had to get into my car on the passenger side. What's going on? Do I need to go around the building and...
You want me to make an email?
Screw email. Let's brute force. Let's go knock some heads.
You ain't about that life.
What are you talking about?
Let's go find him.
The man straight ahead, heavyweight champ in every aspect of his life. Our producer, Mr. Chewy Elder. Oh, wait, I can't say your name. I got to say your name at the end. He's a heavyweight champ in every aspect, and there's so many aspects. A shoot head, a food head. He's got a show called Nomversations on Twitch. And if you don't know what Twitch is, I don't know. I don't know how to help you. Ladies and gentlemen, keeps your phone calls going, keeps the levels. Oh, I forgot to bring a screwdriver today to fix this. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chewy Eldorado, the incomparable Chewy Eldorado. Now the man to my right. And when I say man, I mean with a capital A, and a capital N, ladies and gentlemen. He brings home the bacon and he fries it up in the pan, and he'll change your oil too, right in your driveway, because he knows how to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, former star of episodic television, former touring stand-up comic, and I'm not talking about some kind of opening or feature. I'm talking about a headliner with a capital H. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin's greatest living storyteller. He will go down in the annals of time as one of the best in the business. Ladies and gentlemen, a future Texas Radio Hall of Famer, the marvelous Matt Bearden.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. He's an autodidact, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God. He's got both of them?
He knows. It means he knows. He knows a little bit about everything out there. And from Mies van der Rohe to Miles Davis, he can let you know exactly what's going on in the world of fine things, right?
Can't afford them, but I know what they are.
From rare china to fine vinyl platter. He's got you covered. You can have a little conversation with him because the guy digs in. Now, sometimes when we're teasing, we call him a joiner. But the fact is, he knows a lot about what's going on the streets out there. So you do yourself a favor by listening when he talks.
And don't park so close to me.
And don't park so close to him.
And don't take my spot.
And don't take his spot.
And my spot is no special
so
spot.
Close to him.
It's no special
Please
spot.
don't.
Well, you didn't say the name.
Despite all the things that are so great about him, boy, does he love to bitch and moan. He's
my brand.
He's a member of the Texas Bitch and Moan Hall of Fame.
That's my brand.
Mr. Bob.
Thank you.
Fonseca.
Now, there's been a Honda Passport in the parking space. A Honda Passport.
I thought it was a Pilot.
Whatever it is.
I don't know the difference.
I don't know either. And I'm not talking, I don't have some fancy highfalutin parking space or anything like. It's just one that I
demand to have every day.
No, I don't demand it. It's just one that I've parked in. It's not protected.
I feel like luck.
It's not protected in any way. It's not special in any way. It's just a spot. It's just the one that I pull into. I don't like you not parking in that spot because it makes me feel like the show's not going to go well. Right.
I park on the other side.
The only thing special about it maybe is that there's not a parking space to the right of it. So I have ding-proof. I'm always looking for DPP, ding-proof parking. I call it DPP. If I go to the mall, I want DPP. I'll walk.
Put that into Pornhub and see what you get.
Double P penetration.
I'll walk. I will walk a quarter of a mile to prevent my car from getting dinged. Body work is expensive, and I know that now. It's expensive. Okay? What?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't mind driving around with door dings and things like that. You don't care. Your vehicle is just A to B.
It's expensive.
It's expensive. When people go, well, use your insurance. I go, well, my insurance deductible is like $1,000. What I'm like, I'm supposed to fork out $1,000 every time someone dings my door because they're an idiot.
And it's very noticeable on the Cybertruck.
I don't have the Cybertruck. Anyway, somebody's just...
Well, with the way you drive, I wouldn't
There's a million spots out there at this time of the morning, and somebody swings into the one that I've parked in for probably 5 years now. Again, there's nothing special other than there's not a space to the right of it. That's all.
And you can get really close.
To what?
Or someone else can get the compact sizes of the spots.
Right. Well, when you can't see the sizes anymore.
I think maybe you should take it as a compliment. Someone wants to be close to you. Or start doing what Chewy does. Chewy parks on the other side of the building because then he's not on company property, and they can't say anything about him going out there for breaks.
I'll over there. Come with me.
Yeah, bro.
I'll protect you too.
I don't know what you're saying right now, but I'm talking about my spot. And I don't care. I'll find another new one, but that's going to displace somebody else that thinks that they have. We're creatures of habit, right? Mm-hmm. Don't you think? Human beings are creatures of habit. You roll in.
Too much so.
I put it in front ways. I spin around the parking lot, and I pull into my spot. And now there's some kind of...
Let's go down the hall.
There's some kind of...
I found out. The guy's name is Jack. I've never met him. I don't know who he is. Apparently, he usually works weekends only. But Chris said, he just recently started coming in.
But Chris didn't say anything to him?
Well, I think Chris... Go ahead.
I was going to say what the main issue is early bird gets the worm. And I don't know what show he's doing. He's here real early.
But why that spot? There's nothing special to it. There's spots under trees.
I wish we had a window.
No, I think we need to talk to him politely. I think what you should say to him is say, hey, I know this is silly and ridiculous, but I have a real, I'm superstitious and I need to park in that spot. I've been parking that spot for over 30 years.
Chewy, that's really going to bother me now. There we go. More than it already bothers me that thing sags.
Don't talk about my butt.
I don't care. It's just strange to me. And then yesterday I tried to get in my car and somebody parked. So somebody in a beat up. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it was. It was a Yugo or something. It parked so close to my driver's door that I couldn't. As thin as I am, I couldn't even get in it, Chewy.
How thin is he?
And I thought there's one way I could get in is if I kicked this side mirror off, which I almost did.
So I'm this close to getting...
I almost kicked the side mirror off so that I could open the door enough to wedge my slender body in. All 149 pounds of me.
Why didn't you go on the other side?
Huh?
Why didn't you go in this other side of
Because that is demeaning.
Oh.
Kind of decorum. Hey, there's Bob again, climbing into his car through the... What?
So you'll have to reverse in?
I feel like... And then yesterday...
Hey, can I ask a quick question?
Twice
a real practical question.
On the road, somebody almost took me out in lane changes. Like, I'm here...
Can I ask you a very practical question about your car?
Get out of the way.
Doesn't your car have an app where you hit summon on it and it just will pull out of the space for you?
Yeah, but I don't do that flex.
Well, this is...
I don't do that. I don't use any of
So you have a car that has this feature where it will pull up and out of the spot so you can get in easily, but you didn't use it. Instead, you are upset at somebody who's apparently in such a predicament that they have to drive a Yugo?
So it's just...
That's on them. I almost got taken out twice yesterday.
To dinner?
On lane change. People are just...
Doesn't your car have an automatic thing where it will help you?
Sure,
keep from
all the.
But that's a weird flex. You don't use those.
No, there's all kinds of stuff. All kinds of different horns and buttons went off, and lights and front displays and everything. No,
thank you, Elon.
But doesn't stop somebody from,
What?
I almost pitted somebody yesterday. They just cut right in, and then I looked over. Then I caught up with them.
It's Austin traffic.
Because I got to see.
Keep up.
I got to see who's behind the wheel of someone who just cut somebody off, and like you're not there. Like you're not in that space. I look over.
Oh my God. Was it Ray Benson from Asleep at the Wheel?
The seat was reclined so far back, I don't know how they see over the dash. Like
Chewy, it's one of your friends.
No, it wasn't even like that. It was like, I don't know if it was a little old lady or what. I couldn't see because they were literally driving like this. And their hands were really close to the steering wheel like this.
Wait, how could they be reclined back and be close to the steering wheel?
That's possible.
Is it?
Yeah.
This sounds like you're making this up now.
No.
I've seen SVU.
Totally possible. Yeah, you scoot the seat all the way up and then you lean it all the way back. It's almost like they were driving with their elbows.
Well, who was driving? Stephen Hawking?
I know. I don't know. But what was clear was they're just like, they're going to do what they're going to do, and it's up for you. It's up to you to be defensive. Yeah. They're just going to take whatever lane they want, when they want.
Well, why don't you start doing what you're going to do?
Yeah, I think you might have. The city.
The traffic
isn't for you anymore. It's
not. It's not. You're right. You're 100% right.
It's a go.
No, it's not. It's not even about speed. It's about consideration and about, what happened to Drive Texas Friendly? Do we even have those signs anymore?
No one ever did that. That was just...
No, we did. Well, it used to be the wave if you let somebody in on Mopac.
Wave.
It's like everything's optional. Turn signals are optional. Traffic lights are optional. Stop signs are optional. Speed limits are optional. What's going on?
Got to watch your back out there. It's Texas.
You say that, Chewy, but if somebody takes your car out, what are you going to do?
Keep driving? I've been hit all
Get a roll of duct tape?
Yeah, my bumper's sagging. My windshield is cracked.
I thought that was the style.
My inspection's out.
Hey, how far out is your inspection?
And I'm this close to getting my grandfather's handicap sticker, so I can park anywhere.
Yeah, dog!
Anywhere.
Yeah, that's the.
I love you, man. I love you, man. But
that is the way to do it. That's a victory.
Oh,
so you go over there every weekend. You're nice to him, hoping one of these days he naps and you can take that thing. Huh?
Am I the only one that feels this way? That there's been a radical change in the way people drive in the city?
I like it. We're getting places faster, except for the construction on 35 right now heading over here. It's been bad.
But Bob, we've also gone from about 400,000 people to 2 million. So, of course, the driving has changed. That's a huge change.
Well, you don't care.
No, yeah, you're right. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't care.
You don't care.
We're driving it every single day. And constantly. It's all through the city, everywhere I go.
Signal. That's all.
You can see my giant car.
Don't make me slam on the brakes on 360 because you are leaning so far back in your in your chair and you're so close to the steering, you can't even see over the dashboard? What, like...
I'm telling you. Find a way to get a handicap sticker or something.
Well, I don't know that that's going to help him not get hit or get the, you know what I mean? Oh, you're just trying to help him out on parking?
Yeah, because he can go anywhere. Just like the end of the movie Mask.
I'm not asking for anything special. I'm just asking for people to stop being cavemen and cave women.
Hey,
and and have some decorum and have some pride on the road.
Hey, Chewy, will you check the phones and see if, quote unquote, people are calling to apologize?
Matt's just gonna he's just gonna try to get back at me for yesterday.
Hey guys, yesterday we were working on the things that were still operating on the past. But did that have any teeth? Did you guys enjoy that? There's a second half, but I don't know if we should continue because I felt like it just kept saying the same thing over and over again, which is that...
Matt, I enjoy everything you do. You're wonderful.
Your wife isn't listening. You're okay.
Thank you can go back to being yourself. For what you're
you can go back to being yourself.
Doing a rebrand.
If you've selected it and you've presented it to us, then it has to be wonderful. Be confident in your abilities. Walk boldly.
The thing is that they're all just saying, hey, people use old computers, and I feel like I want to know that, like, there's an airplane that operates because a guy is pedaling a bicycle in the fuselage somewhere, you know? Mm-hmm. Number 5, the Boeing 737, not the Max.
Not the Jumbo or the Max,
falling out of the sky. The old Boeing 737. They run on 16-bit processors from the 90s.
Yeah.
Like that Max is constantly in the news because like the doors are flying off, and I think some of them were delivered without wings or something like that. And that's not good. But they do have planes that have been pretty hardy. That regular old 737.
Well, the thing is, they also that's the plane. You know, I worked for Southwest for a while, indirectly through an ad agency. That was my account. So I flew a lot. 737s.
Okay.
From the 80s to now. And those have been really reliable birds. I mean, I think they fly the 737 now to Hawaii, don't they, Southwest?
Dude,
They do. It's the only plane in their fleet, and they service Hawaii now. So they go from L.A. to Hawaii in 737.
I've never, ever in my life looked at flights to Hawaii.
That thing's like a jet fighter, man.
I think we just figured out where you and I are different.
They told me over at Southwest that thing can almost fly like straight vertical if it had to.
Dang, you go to the moon?
Yeah.
It's actually a super plane? Even though it seems boring and dumb?
More like the boring.
And what you don't understand, too, is that they interchange parts between planes, too. To keep them going.
Oh, is that why sometimes one will have a quarter panel that's just actually just has, like, you can tell it's just been primered. It's been primered and bondoed, but it hasn't been painted yet?
Yeah.
All right.
But it's a good bird. I don't know what the deal was with the Max. One went down really early, and they're not sure. They never really said whether that was pilot error or a computer issue or something like that. Listen, and I learned this from my brother, who's a pilot for another major airline. They're doing very little flying up there.
Just fall asleep, set it and forget it?
Pretty much.
Man.
It's taking off and landing on its own, pretty much. Sleep tight.
I like it.
Yeah. The 737 MAX not doing very well. It's had 2 crashes. They've been adding a lot of software to assist them out design it.
It's probably too fast. Or something. The pilots can't handle it. I don't know. But what about the older ones? You said they have antiquated computer systems?
Well, I thought... Here's the problem. I thought what was going to say is that the old 737 is... But it turns out that the 737 MAX is the one using a computer system from the 90s. And one of the problems they're having is since they've loaded this computer system into all these planes... Now that they've had these issues, they're trying to do software fixes.
Oh, I bet you. Because Max came out about the same time that the chip shortage was happening.
They could say that even though that they're only 16-bit processors, they could technically fly the planes by themselves, but they are low-powered, and even in 1996, when these computers were introduced, they were not as advanced as others available. Boeing has issued several press releases about upgraded software meant to handle changes in how the computer meets the demands of more advanced plane designs. But it turns out... I thought this was going to be about the old-school 737.
I just don't want to know.
Yeah.
I just don't want to know. I don't want to know who's in the cockpit. I don't want to know what computer they're using. Just get me to Las Vegas.
Ignorance is bliss.
Weren't you the one talking about the interview with the pilots who said if they see 737 MAX, that's what they're going to fly. They will leave the plane.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
They're like, I will not get on one of those birds. They're unreliable. Will not get on one.
Right.
The odds are too
great. Because that
great.
first one that went, you remember that first one that went down? It was a big mystery. Like they couldn't figure out why.
The only real mystery I remember in planes is that one that took off in Indonesia or Malaysia or whatever, and has never been found.
Oh, that one, yeah.
No parts of it, no oil on the water, nothing.
Bermuda Triangle, baby.
Alternate universe.
The space station's computers run on CPUs from the 80s. Well, that makes sense. I mean, who's going to... You're not going to send the Geek Squad up to space, are you?
Mm-mm.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if you guys have checked your email, but your Geek Squad payment has been renewed.
Damn, that one.
They got me on that one, man.
Did they?
I almost fell for it.
Did you almost send $700?
I was mad. And then I realized it was thanks to you guys, realized it was a fake email.
The ISS is using a 286 SX CPU
I forget that
from back in the
up
80s.
there.
Yeah. The upgrades are needed, of course. Hey, here's the thing, though. On a 286, there's still some pretty cool golf games you can play.
Yeah. Dwarf.
That's what you do when you're over in the space station, right? Play some video games. I mean, it's got to be boring.
Maybe.
It's not like you're going down to the bar or anything.
Just doing somersaults.
Yeah, I would
floating
float
around, yeah. And eat food out of a tube.
Mm.
They say they designed their hardware able to withstand radiation. And they say they have to do a lot of testing on that. And so by the time it gets to space, it's already out of date. But it does work. So congrats. It works. And let's see. Lastly, I'll pick out of these here.
That one doesn't concern me as much because I'm never going to fly, coach on the...
Oh, let's feel better
about the International Space Station.
Let's feel better about Boeing. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The 747 is still running, and there are literally planes in the sky that are 747s in use right now that were built before we set foot on the moon. Caspian Airlines, based out of Tehran, Iran, currently has a 747 in service that had its first flight on July 13th, 1969. Now, part of that might be the fact that there's a huge embargo and Iran's not allowed to trade with people and get new stuff, but most of the 747s that were built by Boeing have been scrapped or put into storage.
Don't they use some of those platforms for like FedEx or UPS? Aren't they still flying some of those?
Maybe. It just says
cargo format.
See, back then they built a plane to be a plane, not like they do today.
Only flew in one once, and it was pretty cool. I was shooting video on the first Dallas to Hawaii nonstop.
Yeah,
American Airlines. I was asked to shoot.
I never went in one. Did you go upstairs in the little bar and everything?
I got to shoot. We got to shoot some scenes. This is for PM Magazine in the 80s. We got to shoot some scenes in the lounge. And I got to see parts of the plane that most people, like the galley and stuff like that most people don't get to see. That was pretty fun. I was back in the good old days. Free trips.
Damn. Lucky.
Historic. It was a historic flight.
No free
What
trips
am I doing? Law Tigers, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. If you've been in a motorcycle accident, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you never do. I sincerely hope you never do. That's a terrible thing. But if you do, before you call your insurance company and pick up the phone to call them and confess to something, don't do that. Talk to the Law Tigers first, because insurance companies want to pay you as little as possible, okay? That's just the way the game is played. You got to have somebody at your side. That's the Law Tigers. They're going to help you get your bike repaired, replaced, any other needs that you have. They are going to, I don't want to say the word fight. That seems extreme. They're going to help you negotiate with your insurance company, okay? The Law Tigers, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, lawtigers.com, and they're Texas motorcycle lawyers. This has been a paid advertisement by Emil Farrar and Ball, LLP, for legal services. Farrar and Ball, LLP, principal office, Houston, Texas.
Hey, Chew, you're down in just a couple of days before your buddies coming into town? Or you guys are just having like a rendezvous weekend? What exactly is happening?
It's just a weekend, yeah. They're coming into town from a couple separate places, Tennessee, Bozeman.
Now, are these buddies from high school or buddies that you picked up over the years? Who are all these
buddies
guys?
from high school and that I've, roomed with for the beginning of, my 20s. And
are they South by Southwesting or what's the draw? Are you the draw?
Chewy's the draw, baby.
Yeah, of course. This is the hometown. This is
I guess because it's spring break.
Yeah. And the hardest thing is getting them to do stuff because
it's impossible to get, this is like 7 dudes, right?
Well, yeah, it's hard because they all have, a lot of them have families and kids, and then
wait, they're not taking their families on spring break. They're coming here to play poker with you, but the kids are going to be.
It's a dude's trip.
The kids are going to be sitting at home playing.
Yeah, they like to have fun.
Nintendo Switch,
and then put their foot down. Yeah.
How do you
ask them? I'll let you ask them.
How do you tell your wife and kids that you're going?
I'll let you ask them how to do it.
You're going to Stoner's Paradise for a week.
They can
during spring break.
I'll let them give you some lessons on how they do it.
It's easy. You say, honey, you and the kids are going to your mom's.
Deal with it.
I got stuff to do.
Now, the thing that sucks is
I want to keep getting this sweet, sweet D. You do what's good for you and get out of here so I can go hang out with my buddies.
Put your foot down. You can come out, too.
Bob's got neuropathy. Can't really put his feet down like that.
I don't have the neuropathy. Just keep it positive, Matt.
That's right.
Oh.
You got neuropathy, Matt.
No more negativity.
Now, the problem is I want to do a bunch of
Bob's
different
got
things.
brand new shoes. He can't put his feet down. Brand new, expensive, beautiful shoes.
Is
that positive or is that a negative?
I don't know.
They're not new.
He likes new ones, but
Bob has very clean shoes.
But he got a good deal on them. They didn't cost a lot.
They did not cost a lot. He's a man of the people.
He's a modest man.
It's just that they're very clean. He takes good care of his stuff.
And they're nice. Practical.
Is that better?
Thank you. Very good.
Practical and stylish.
See what kind of show we could have?
Like the man himself. Practical and stylish.
And cool, by the way.
Super cool.
I think it's super cool that
Bob's name is Cool Bob.
That you have friends that are coming to see you. I hope you guys have a super cool time and do cool things.
Hopefully everything just goes according to plan. And
hang on, I think there's a butt coming here.
Does that mean you're just not going to run out of weed?
No, we're all just being positive.
Right.
No, the problem is I want to do all these different things, and we have like 3 days.
There's no problems. That's a challenge that you can overcome.
And they're like, look, man, we're married. I don't want a bunch of plans.
Right.
That you have an itinerary.
Right. Because you're trying to make them go and go and go and go.
Yeah,
and they're like, dude, we want to hang and hang and hang and hang.
We just want to live like you for a couple of days. That's it. I feel so bad because I'm like, okay, I guess.
Because you're trying to get them to go to like 5 dinners a day, right?
I want to go to a couple of dinners. I want to do, karting and maybe, all kinds of different stuff here in town.
What, is this a bachelor party?
Nah, but, the boys don't get together. And Thin Lizzy, you heard that song.
The boys are back in town.
Yeah, they get crazy.
But all you have to do is get to a late night and let blood flow.
We don't want to hurt anybody. But, so, I mean, that's the toughest thing.
You're going to need 2 guitars, though.
So that's the toughest part, but I don't know. Hopefully we just have a good time.
That is the problem, though, that when you guys have you manage to get everybody together, but you have different ideas of what you're going to do.
We've taken different paths in life.
Yeah, and that's tough because you have an idea. Have you sent them the itinerary already? And that's why they've kind of rebuffed and said, dude, I cannot get up at night. What time do you have them waking up?
9.
So you have dudes that are going to get high and drunk all night till 2, 3 in the morning, and then get up at 9,
correct,
so that they can go let us in on some of this itinerary. Where are some of the you have them going to brunch or breakfast or something?
Well, we're supposed to Friday.
Food?
I think we're going to go disc golfing. Then we're going to do probably some.
I'm already out, but on the very first event. But then what?
Then we'll probably go get some burgers downtown.
Ooh, burgers downtown.
Then
where are you taking them for burgers?
Clark's. You don't like Clark's?
Clark's I like.
Why do you like Clark's?
Because they have a delicious burger.
And you like all places with delicious burgers?
No, I don't.
We're going to be positive. And then after that, we are going to Verdad that night, which I can't wait for the lobster.
Well, what are you doing in between?
Is everything food based?
What are you doing in between? Not a damn chance burger, and and Verdad that night.
We were going to do VR, but I'm just leaving that a blank space in case.
Okay, you were supposed to do VR where?
At the Domain.
Wait, so you would go from down south to downtown to Domain to back to downtown?
Yeah, look, because I'm not a dad. I'm not going to. I'll drive the 10 minutes. It's across town.
You're going to make someone a wonderful wife.
I like having. No, this is just for the guys. A husband. I'll make someone.
But what are you going to do besides eat? Or is that it?
I just said all the things we're doing.
I didn't say you'd make someone a wonderful husband. I said you're going to make someone a wonderful wife.
Are you going to go to the Museum of Ice Cream
and I'm
while you're at the Domain?
Yeah, you're going to go to the Museum of Illusion.
Take some selfies.
No, what would y'all do if y'all had friends?
If I had friends coming in here during South by South weekend,
I'd be like, what hotel are you staying
at? It's not South by weekend.
What are you talking about?
What's going on this weekend?
Are they the largest weekend of South by is underway?
Oh, it's the music part?
No, the music part is the second weekend, and it's the smaller weekend. The largest weekend is the interactive and tech weekend.
Film festival.
And the fact that you think you're going to take some buddies to Not a Damn Chance, guess what? Not a damn chance.
Let's keep it positive, Matt. You'll make it. You'll get there.
Yeah.
The line will be...
Can you imagine flying in, you've got a limited 3 days away from your family, and your buddy's like, hey, we're going to wait in line for 3 hours for a, drum roll please, hamburger.
How many inflatable mattresses do you have?
Just one.
How many guys are going to be...
It's like the Princess and the Pea. They're going to sleep on top of each other.
You billeting all these guys?
What am I going to do to them?
That's a fancy term. You guys are going to bivouac, and then you're going to billet all these guys?
Real man of the people.
Are all these guys sleeping at your house? They're not sleeping at your house, right?
Yeah, a couple of them. Yeah, just my two buddies. So.
Butt buddies? Mm-hmm. And then the other ones have to sleep in a hotel or something?
You guys are going to have a marvelous time.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
What hotel are your buddies staying at?
Shea Chewy.
Wait, you said it's just two? I thought it was like 7 dudes. It's just 2 dudes?
Well, those people live in town. It's just 3 buddies coming into town.
By the way, you don't get a mint on your pillow at Shea Chewy's. You get, I don't know what he leaves on your pillow.
It looks like hair conditioner. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I got to clean up a little bit.
Well,
you better Swiffer.
So what was going to happen then on day 2?
So Friday's technically day 2. They're coming in Thursday night, but Saturday will be. We're gonna do some karting.
Karting.
Yeah, and then Interstellar.
Where are you going karting?
Coda karting.
Wait. Nice. And then you're gonna go from Coda out to Interstellar?
Opposite, vice versa.
You're gonna go from Interstellar to Coda.
Mm-hmm. I live closer to Interstellar.
That sounds like fun.
And then we'll play some poker, watch pay-per-view. Good fight this weekend.
That sounds pretty good.
It sounds like a good, fun weekend.
You guys are going to have a good time.
It really does.
Yeah.
And when's the date?
This weekend.
No. I mean, for this bachelor party. Like, when's the wedding date that you...
Oh, there's no bachelor party.
It does sound like he's throwing a bachelor party, doesn't he?
It does. And
I don't understand why y'all have to wait for a bachelor party. Also, there's no escorts or strippers involved.
Because when a guy puts a thing together of all the things that he wants to do and then everyone else has to go do them, that's usually a bachelor party.
So what y'all do, just fish and look at each other?
That sounds fantastic. That sounds wonderful.
I want to smoke weed and go karting. So I do it.
I don't think you're supposed to say that because then when you show up, they're not going to want to let you karting.
It just said drinking. You can't drink.
He's already looked at the waiver.
So, I don't know.
That sounds good.
I mean, have a guy's weekend. Don't wait for a bachelor party.
Right.
And also, what are y'all's wives doing to y'all where it's just like...
I just feel bad.
I just want to come sit and just be away and do nothing. Like,
how did you... What limousine company are you using to get you around all these places?
What was the name of it? Oh my God.
I just feel bad for these families. I shouldn't, I guess. I guess they've worked it out.
It's going to be like the scene from Swingers where there's going to be 8 cars driving through the city in a row.
It's a poor thing. Those wives keep y'all working every single day nonstop.
I know, but the kids...
And then the weekends, time for the farmer's market.
The kids only get one spring break a weekend, and these guys...
That's them kids, bro. Why do y'all care about these kids so much? It's going to be fine. They missed one damn vacation. You know how much I was deprived of?
And look how you turned out.
Having go-karting this weekend, high as hell. Living my damn dream. Kids, you can do it too.
We're just trying to look out for you, man.
I think I'm doing fine. I'm worried about y'all. I'm gonna be all right.
But you've
But
talked
y'all
about
can
so far.
join me if y'all want.
In a weekend, I could do one of the things, not any of the activities. I could meet you for a meal somewhere.
There's a lot of road time in your plan, and I think that's great because that's a great way for them to see our beautiful city and meet all of our fabulous drivers
And maybe
that
you
are
might do some South
that are
Park.
driving so Texas friendly out there. This is a great way for you to showcase to these visitors our fabulous city.
You're the one driving slow in the fast lane.
I'm not driving slow, my friend.
Driving a moderate pace.
I'm driving at the speed that my car has selected.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I am actually excited. I think it's going to be good for
It's
you.
going to be a great weekend.
I feel like it's been a long time since you had something for you, and I'm actually excited for you.
Yeah. All my buddies.
And I'm excited for me not having to be in the car all that much
I think
time.
it's just weird that these two guys said that they're doing National Guard this weekend. They lied.
I
That's
gotta
stolen.
go.
That's
Enjoy the Texas National
That's
Guard.
stolen valor.
It was. I almost.
I mean,
thought
I don't know
about
how
it.
they got away from their families on spring break week. I mean, really, seriously, that's like.
I think there's a lot of families because sometimes
Bob
there's a
doesn't
lot of
understand
wives
how it
that
works.
go take
Yeah.
vacations by themselves
Yeah.
and do stuff like that, and no one talks about that.
No, this is the
I don't
weekend.
know why the dude can't
This is
get
the
a
week.
weekend.
Next week is the week you're supposed to take your kids and family to a crowded airport.
That's next weekend.
Yeah.
They're going. No, this weekend. They're hanging. They're saying, "Honey, I'm going to go to this so I can be recharged for the week."
Gotcha.
When we go do the other spring breaky things.
Gotcha.
And by recharged, I mean completely beat up, my liver suffering.
Now those guys do drink here that are coming into town.
Yeah, they do.
Like one of them wants me to have a tequila bottle waiting for him.
No, do you have one of those guys in your group that as soon as he gets a hall pass, he goes crazy?
I think this is the guy.
He's going to ruin your weekend, dude. He's going to ruin your
I'm
weekend.
gonna beat him up.
The
If he
hall
gets too
pass
drunk, we're
dude,
gonna beat him with soaps.
we'll talk about it later this morning, but hall pass dude always ruins everything.
We can put that on Toxic Tuesday.
Everybody is flipping off the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No respect.
I report the news. That's what I do.
It's Bob Fonseca's Rock and Roll News.
What's happening out there? It's time for the Rock and Roll News, and just like every Tuesday, I gotta dig deep. I've got to dig deep. You okay, Matt?
Oh, yes.
Are you okay
my
over
goodness.
there? Let me hit you on the back. You all right? Get that out. All right.
I just have this never-ending cough.
It's time for the Rock and Roll News. I'm Rock's last great reporter, and I'm here with all the headlines. And let me tell you, Tuesday, man, it's like pulling teeth, as my mom used to say. They don't make it easy to be a rock reporter on a Tuesday. I don't know. Well, I guess because on Monday you got all the news of the weekend, right? That comes in. You can you look at all the concert numbers and set lists and things like that. Talk about the tours, and then as you go through the week, you start building up to Friday, which is record release day in most of the country. And so Tuesday, just like kind of no man's land. A bunch of people dying in rock and roll, and a bunch of people flipping the bird at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And guess what band is doing it now?
The Rolling Stones.
Leonard Skinner.
No.
How are they not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Is that true? Guitarist Ricky Medlock had a choice gesture for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for excluding him from... Oh, I see what they did.
Well,
They got to make a weird determination. People think that it's easy to be a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but it's not. Because what happens with a band like Leonard Skinner and Steely Dan, where there's like, imagine if
they
the
have to
Rock
figure
and
out what
Roll
the
Hall
band
of
is?
Fame, if with Steely Dan, say, who had like over 200 people playing in it over the years.
Who are the people we're
Who are
nominating?
the people getting? They can't make 200 plastic awards like this.
Right.
Right?
Look, our company only can make one for the three of us.
You know? So, I guess that this Ricky Medlock guy, and I don't know how long he's been, let's see. He played drums and sang with Skinner from 71 to 72. Then he went back to Blackfoot for a while. Then he came back as a guitarist Then that's a flex. You're a drummer and then you became a guitarist in 1996. Is it that easy for some people?
I don't know, but I will say if you played 1 year in the 70s and then he comes back in 96.
Anyway,
He's not on, is he on any of the albums?
the band, yeah, he was on Street Survivors.
Well, that was a hit.
And then a bunch of compilations.
Look, whoever played on the song "Sweet Home Alabama,"
That should be the one. Right.
those are the people
Right.
that get in. Those
Yes,
are the people that get in.
Or Freebird.
Freebird for sure. Those two, whoever were in those 2 songs,
Right.
There you go.
gets in.
So the band was inducted in 2006, and I thought so. There was no way that we could admit Leonard Skinner. And so I don't know why he's getting in a dust up now about it, but there's a picture of him on social media just flipping. He's just shooting the bird, just proud and.
Rock and roll, baby.
Well, the thing is,
And there's 2 ways to flip the bird, by the way. One's meaner than the other.
I go.
This one's pretty okay, but then the one that's really like
I think
scrunched
I
down,
think the knuckle one is mean.
and then you bend at the wrist.
The knuckle
think the
one
one-
is more aggressive.
Can I say
You
the
think
one
that's
that's
more
not mean?
aggressive?
Yeah, this is
The one
friendly.
that's not mean is the one that my mother does.
Yeah,
where it's
that
like a
one.
weird
A
ball.
fist.
It's a weird
Yeah.
That's
arthritic
womanly.
ball hand.
That's womanly.
Oh no!
and that one doesn't look good at all. Where
This
she
one.
goes, well, no,
This
no,
one looks like
you
I could
too.
pierce a coconut with this. Look at that.
Well, I don't know what good can come of this. I don't think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is going to change their mind. I don't think this is high on their set list of things to do. Let's see if I can get a quote from Mr. Medlock. I mean, I'm watching them induct people that I go, what, are you kidding me? Matt must feel that way about the Texas Radio Hall of Fame. Are you kidding me? But you know what? That's okay. It's what it is. Well, is it okay, or are you flipping the bird? What is it there, Ricky? What's his name? Did I say Ricky?
Rick.
I don't know. He says, I got inducted to the Native American Music Hall of Fame, and my speech was, I stood up at the podium and I looked around. I went, wow, this is way better than the damn Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction could be. Okay.
Okay.
That's the way you feel.
Sure.
But that sounds
Here's what I
pretty
don't
good,
get.
too.
Does he really care about being in any Hall of Fame? Isn't he a simple kind of man?
Drives a simple van.
That's a different song.
Oh. All right. Well, good luck to you, nameless drummer, guitar guy for Leonard Skinner. Ricky, Medlock, I hope, I don't know. I've never heard of them changing their mind, but anything can happen in rock and roll. Some bad news here. Blackberry Smoke drummer Britt Turner has died at 57.
Oh no.
Yes. The rock country band, Blackberry Smoke, very popular.
Really?
Yeah. And he got diagnosed in 2022 with, in the middle of the pandemic. Can you imagine? You're in the pandemic and they diagnose you with glioblastoma, which is a fast-growing form of brain cancer. He underwent surgery, and anyway, it's a tragic story. I don't want to get into it here. You can read about it, but he co-founded Blackberry Smoke in Atlanta, GA, in 2000, and the band is extremely sad and describe him as their. Oh, we ought to refer to Matt Bearden as this too. Their true north, their compass. Matt, that's what you are to us, and we appreciate that. So don't go anywhere. All right? So that's that, and I hate to bring you that sad news. I wanted to give you an update on some of the tours that are be coming through Austin. Some rock concerts.
Glioblastoma so early in the morning.
Listen, you got to report the good with the bad. I've got to be fair and balanced as rock's last great reporter. Mom Jeans are going to be here in...
Was that a band?
No, that already happened. That was last night. No, that's tonight. I don't know what Mom Jeans are, but they're under the rock category, and they're going to be at Emo's. Brian Setzer also tonight at the Paramount Theater.
Here's the incredible thing. He will be wearing mom jeans.
He's one of the Stray Cats.
He's the Stray Cat.
Huh?
Huh?
You're going to say that when Slim Jim Phantom might be listening?
Yes, I am. I am going to say that.
Sleater Kinney will be here tomorrow. And then you got Guster coming tomorrow as well, I think.
Bringing back all the 90s.
Fallout Boy is going to be at the Enormo Dome.
What are they?
Yeah.
I'm going down.
That's on the 8th. What's their song?
All of them.
They have all the songs, Bob.
Let me see if there's any other names that are sticking out here in the near future. Gary Clark Jr. is going to be at Emo's on Wednesday, the 13th of March. That'll be during South by Southwest, won't it?
It will be.
Haven't seen him in a while. I haven't seen him live since he opened for Tom Petty. Before Tom Petty died. And that would make sense, wouldn't it? I don't even know why I said that.
What? That
Well, he would have played with Tom Petty before Tom Petty died. Like
playing with Tom Petty after, that's called necrophilia.
Man.
No, too soon?
Too soon. Let's see. I'm trying to.
Wait.
No, you didn't.
Bob,
You didn't say anything.
Why did you just dump
didn't
that?
even say
I had to.
Why
anything.
did you dump that?
Oh, look at this.
Bob, it's the best thing that happened on the show this morning, and you
not
dumped
my brand.
it.
Not my brand.
You didn't actually say the word.
People will isolate that. On Sunday, the
Folks,
24th of March.
Bob tried to say that, name the band Black Flag. He stumbled a little bit, and he
just
almost
took a
said
guess.
something else, and it was very funny. Because to see his reaction when his brain realized what he had done, he had gone in a huge panic. But he didn't say the word. He just
I had to make a lot of decisions quick there. I'm thinking, who's going to isolate that? Who's recording this? People still record this show on cassette. Black Flag.
Got it.
Will
Nailed
be
it.
here Sunday the 24th. Bob Dylan, Zimmy will be here April 5th, not February 5th. And Eric Johnson also the same night. What if Eric Johnson wanted to go to the Bob Dylan show? He's going to be at the Paramount the same night.
Well, apologies to both of them, actually.
Looks like Bob Dylan's doing 2 nights at the Enormo Dome.
Damn, BD.
Dang, our friend Bruce Robinson's going to be in town. Steve Hackett at Genesis, we're playing. I see we're running some of those ads. So good things are happening. I'm really struggling here, folks, because there's just not a lot in the rock and roll news today.
Do you want to just get to the kids?
Well, I got nothing for the kids either. I cannot do another Taylor Swift story.
They love it.
All right, I'll do this. So time for Rock and Roll News Junior. Rock and Roll News Junior, of course, for the kids on the way to the dropout zone right now. Do a little reading and writing. Kids, stay in school, read lots of books, and start a band because you truly are the future of rock and roll. So start that garage band. Don't worry if you're not too good right out of the gate. You put in your 10,000 hours, and you too can be rejected by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's some rumblings in the Taylor Swift camp. Of course, listen, Rock and Roll News Junior is going to be all Taylor Swift for the next 6 months. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. It's really not my fault. You know, you got all the guys in BTS went to go join the military.
Right.
So they're not in the headlines anymore.
Yeah.
One Direction went different directions.
Well, No Doubt is, apparently in doubt.
Blackpink accidentally all got into the laundry machine. What is it called? Clothes washer, dryer.
Adele's doing a residency in Vegas.
Harry Styles out of style.
Out of style. How quick that can happen in the world of rock and roll. Anyway, I guess there's rumblings. I'm hearing rumblings in the what's his name?
What's the laundry machine called?
Kelsey Grammer.
No.
Are neither of you going to help me?
A laundry machine?
Yeah, what's it called?
A washing machine?
Washing machine. Thank you.
Washing. In Texas, we say washing. What's his name? Kelsey Grammer, the guy that's dating Taylor Swift. I can't remember his name. What's his name?
Kelsey Grammer.
No, that's the guy from Friends.
Travis Kelsey.
Because we've been away from football for a month now, so it's like the names aren't popping in them. Anyway, news coming out of his camp that there's big trouble in Little. And there's not big trouble, but
careful, don't dump again.
Taylor apparently is laying down the law that number one, he can't go to He can't go
Chewy's
to
party this weekend.
He can't go to certain types of clubs, which he's been known to patronize anymore. And he also, she would prefer that he doesn't get photographed with other women outside of his mom and maybe any other sisters he might have.
She just don't want him around women with
because
cake,
of
cake.
Anytime he poses with a woman, even if it's innocent, the media is going to blow it out of proportion.
Right. So she's just trying to give him a little media training.
So we'll see how that goes.
I'm sure Pfizer did that already.
And I would say I would let her boss me around. Wouldn't you?
No.
Yeah, I'd be totally like, yes.
Maybe the ex he had. No, maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. That might spill into a Toxic Tuesday someday. Spouse rules. Even though they're not man and wife yet.
We're supposed to believe that you would do whatever Taylor Swift told you?
Oh, yeah.
You already kicked one billionaire to the curb. I don't know that you're...
Wasn't a billionaire at the time.
I don't know that you're going to go
Wasn't
for a
currently a billionaire yet. I saw it in her eyes, though. All right, it's time for the Rock and Roll News Salute. And this Rock and Roll News Salute, because I'm keeping things really positive today,
Okay.
goes out to my bestest buddies in the whole world. The guys that I stand shoulder to shoulder with and fight the radio wars with every day.
The workers at McDonald's you drive through every morning?
No. I'm talking about these guys. I want to hug them right now. I want to give them little noogies on top of the head there.
Let's go ahead and get Todd and Oz over here, please.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are two of the best partners you could ever hope for.
Look how little work he did today that he just was like, oh, I'll give it to the guys I work with. I won't even try to
I'll
look
just
for
start
someone.
naming things around the room about the
I want to.
Tuesdays are tough, my friend. I know some days on click, click, boom, it doesn't roll off the tongue. It's just not there.
I don't know why you're coming after me.
Oh man,
because you're the bestest radio partner a person can have, and Chewy, you too. You're the best producer in the business.
This new positive Bob.
I'm going to give the rock and roll salute.
7:35. Let's see how many minutes this positive Bob can last.
I want to give the rock and roll salute today. The rock and roll news salute to my partners. God, the names aren't coming to the tip of my mouth. Matt and Eric. I would be nothing without you. I'd still be in the Radio Hall of Fame, but I would be nothing without you. Thank you. Thank you for holding me up and propping me up and playing along.
Well, work your mouth as well.
Thank you, Chewy. I'll hug you guys both after the show. Hey, rock and roll saved my life back in 1971. I know it can save yours. You just got to let it. You got to open up your heart. You got to put it on 11. Crank up your super tuner and let her rip. What are we going to do now? Are we going to go to a song?
Yeah, well, I was going to talk to you about some formatics.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, bestest partner.
Well, don't set me up like that, because then this is going to make this meeting very uncomfortable.
Oh, I hate meetings with the boss. Y'all do this alone.
Chewy, could you do me a favor and step out? We'll have a formatics meeting with Bob.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob, look at the clock right now.
Right. 7:36, ladies and gentlemen. It's 24 before the hour.
Now, here's the thing.
If you were supposed to be at work at 7:30, you'd be late now.
Do you know where your children are?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll News was designed to go to 7:30.
Yep.
Okay?
Right.
And then you were going to 7:41.
I can't control the news.
Which was great, because then it just takes it. But it either has to go to 7:30 or it has to go to 7:41.
Oh.
But when you go in between, you leave us with no place to go.
Oh.
And on a day when you come and you go, I have literally nothing.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why you would stretch 6 minutes over.
Because I don't have time to glance at the clock all the time. Like, I'm not the clock watcher like you.
But that's literally what our job is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Well, as long as we got that covered.
I don't know. Hey, did anyone die?
Yeah, that guy.
Did anyone die?
The guy from Blackberry Smoke. You just talked about it.
Oh, man.
You're right. You know what? Technically, he's right.
I'm right. The guy from Blackberry Smoke is dead.
That's a terrible story. Yeah, there was nothing there today. There's just nothing there. I'm sorry. I should have looked at the clock, Matt. I should have looked at the clock. I thought there would be maybe one more in there.
Well,
but
what I'm saying is just stretch it out.
I tried. Listen, I did concert dates. I did concert calendar. That's like doing Farmer's Almanac.
Isn't it funny?
I could have done the sunset. You
Isn't
know,
it
like,
funny
hey,
when
today
you're
the
tied?
sunset's gonna be at 6:37.
6:47.
I could do stuff they do over at KLBJ AM.
Isn't it funny when you're tied to one of these bits and there is nothing? You
There's
get up in
nothing.
the morning and you start pulling up prep and
I'm on
nothing.
I'm gonna have to pay for a subscription to Rolling Stone.
Dude, I got up this morning. Some mornings I get up and I'm looking for Austin area headlines. And so all it says is the same thing. 4 people got stabbed. 2 pedestrians got run over by cars. And it's like, all right.
And it's particularly challenging in a, not rock and roll news per se, but in an election year. When all the headlines are about, well, should Nikki drop out or should she stay in? Or should she, this and that. The border.
Oh, that's 60 Minutes interview with Greg Abbott.
The border.
What is the 60-minute interview with Greg Abbott?
They're doing a whole thing on the border on 60 Minutes. And,
Does Texas have a border issue?
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on what an issue is, you know?
I hadn't heard. No one has mentioned it.
I don't know. I want them to get it all sealed up because I want to see the perfect utopia that America will be afterward. Because surely that's what it's going to be if this is
perfection.
This is
year,
the priority number one.
Bob hits on
surely
something.
The country changes.
Bob hits on something that's going to be brutal. Is that if we're going to continue to do our big tent show?
Yeah.
Every time I open up any of my news aggregators, every story is about that they're all from a certain camp, they're all political, and they're all that the country is the worst it's ever been, and we're all going to die, and we should really consider our neighbor to be our greatest enemy. And it's like, well, I don't really want to get into that doesn't feel like fun. Doesn't feel like a thing I want to eat a hot dog to.
What happened to the good
But it's going to be the rest of the year, isn't it?
rest of our lives?
I don't know. We can't. I mean, definitely this year, and I don't know how to go about it. Some things are enraging. I feel like I'm just. Do I not have common sense? Am I one of the crazy people?
Oh,
That's a thought I had the other day. It's
Am I one of the crazy people?
Right.
Am I not thinking things logically?
How do you know? I guess but you can spot the crazy person in the room. If you can't spot the crazy people, then you're the crazy person. But I think as long as you can still identify other crazy people.
But so many people are
You're
crazy and like below.
Well, there's different levels of crazy
lower
now.
than desired IQs. There's a lot of those. And I'm not learned like Matt.
Let's learn it.
But I don't think I'm dumb.
You're not.
Yeah, you put an extra D in there.
Okay, but doesn't it make sense in the statement I was making?
Yes.
Okay.
Learned it.
So I don't know how we're going to avoid it or if we can have a different approach to some of this stuff.
Is there some kind of standardized test to know if you're socially
inept,
crazy or not?
Cat, woman,
yeah,
man. What was that thing that's
some kind
I can't remember?
But because you're right. Because sometimes I feel like I'm going so far against the tide that I must be the crazy person to those other people.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, to extremists, the regular person is crazy.
No, I think somebody that sets up in a convenience store parking lot and starts putting up a bunch of flags on their van, on their good time van.
Oh, that's
crazy.
A normal person.
No, that seems crazy.
Seems like
That's a
but
regular
that happens so much now that feels like that's the normal thing.
We've always been fanatics of politicians that way, right?
I think anytime I see somebody who's retired with enough money to be in a community where there's unlimited golf and shuffleboard and you drive everywhere in a golf cart, for them to put flags all over and say the country has gone to S.
Right.
When you've retired with millions.
Or what about the guys that just park on a
confusing.
Look at this delusion here.
What about the guys that
You
just
have to say what it is.
stand on a street corner shaking their fist on a Saturday afternoon at all the cars going by?
That could be the most sane man there.
That's how you want to give up your one day off?
I don't think he has one day off.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
A nation of 300 million people deciding that two 75-year-old men. Think of your average 75-year-old. If there was a 75-year-old man was wearing a blue vest and greeting you at Walmart, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, that guy's got like an hour. I better hurry up and shop if I want to say goodbye to that guy. But we're literally
Quick
like,
trip.
oh,
We've got to make this a quick trip.
If I want to say goodbye, if I want him
The
to
same guy, right.
If I want him to hit my receipt with a little yellow highlighter, I don't know how that's supposed to stop me from stealing anything. That guy kind of acts like he's counting my items or whatever.
I
If
feel
I
like
want
the
that
Costco
greeter,
people do. I feel like they're a little more adept at that.
so let's run them for president.
They're well trained.
Yeah, but look, we hardly have any breaks, so don't even worry about that. We got, like, 2 minutes.
And now we're getting into it. I'm just saying, I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm already seeing, because it generates such hot clicks that news sites I go to that don't have any of that stuff are now publishing some of that stuff because they realize, oh, well, it's if you can't beat them, join them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm worried about rock and roll news, headline news. What are we going to get this year? Or do we just join in? We've seen the mail numbers that KLBJ AM gets.
I have
right?
no problem with that. If it lines the old pockets, I have no problem going crazy.
Crazy numbers just going, well, everything's terrible. We got to do something
Build
about
the wall.
Let's get rid of the homeless.
I would love to do it, but I think there's a way to do it where we approach it in a way that isn't that's practical, I guess, or is a way that is pleasing?
If people wanted practical,
genuine.
If people wanted practical, then we would not have. We
the
would
candidates we have now.
We'd also have like 4 24-hour news stations that would go out of business in a week if people wanted practical.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get. We're normal working class people. A lot of us are all, and we want the same damn things. It's just so weird. Very weird.
Very weird.
I'm down to discuss politics this year, but I know that's not in the cards.
No, I don't
for
want
us.
to do that. I just want to say. I just want to
think about.
Well, I mean, if it's just,
I just want to say outrageous things and sell supplements.
Oh,
you
okay.
have to talk politics first.
No.
and get
Yeah,
a
you
cult
do.
following.
Let's not call it politics. Let's just call it outrageous. Top of just whatever's on the top of your brain. Just spill it out
Okay.
and then sell a bunch of supplements.
I don't want to
Have
be.
you guys seen this in the news? Have you guys seen this?
What is it? This.
If there's a Mexican living anywhere in your neighborhood, you could instantly get cancer, unless, of course, you take alpha hydroxy maritime silver supplements. Luckily, we're selling those right now. If you want to keep yourself from getting Mexican cancer,
Alpha Mix.
you got to call us up right now, and we'll sell you Alpha Mex. Save yourself while
See?
you can.
Make it work.
I don't know how we're going to do it. I mean, we're just.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get us into this whole thing.
I think it's a great
I really just
discussion.
wanted. I
Thank
really
you
just
for
wanted
the-
to tease Bob about where we were ending up in the middle of the. And then it turned real.
I mean,
Yeah.
it seems disingenuous if we just continue to just completely hide what's going on. We're living in this,
Amen, brother.
right?
How long is this spot break? Is it sure? Let's say
What
1
you're
minute,
seeing is
2
what
minute?
you're getting.
Because I got to
Okay.
run out to the car and get.
All right. How about this? On a scale of 1 to 10,
Oh, you have a live spot too. By
I
the way.
know. 512.
I'm just giving you the format.
512-834-0937. Call us with your honest answers. On a scale of 1 to 10, how badly do you want to start hearing political talk?
It won't be all
Every
the time.
morning.
It'll be like a once a week thing, or
I could be completely wrong. I feel like everybody's answer is going to be 0, but maybe not.
I guess they get enough of it everywhere. But
Why don't we call it the?
You get all you
Call
get
it
is
make it a bit like.
Hang on, let me
the election injection.
let me get this. Okay, we could do
okay.
that, but let me get this spot out of the way so people
All
can
right.
call. We
I'm
can
gonna
get a
run to the
list.
car.
Maybe they'll teach us something. You know what we have learned?
Man, I think we got something here with this election injection. Maybe
Well,
once a morning. Just
Welcome
we haven't
back.
found out yet.
one crazy election story.
Welcome back. We're lamenting that maybe the show may have to change because the news aggregators have all changed. We asked you to call. Did anyone call, or is it too early in the morning?
Everybody called in.
Well, I have a neighbor that texted me.
They
that
stayed
says,
online.
Don't.
Don't. Yeah,
Just
don't get
one
in the-
word
yeah.
answer.
Don't.
Thanks, Kenny.
Let's hear from the peoples out there.
Let's go to Jason.
Okay, first of all, Jason, how are you this morning? What do you do here in the city?
I'm actually working cybersecurity here in the city.
Okay.
Ooh, that's important stuff.
That sounds like a real job.
It's not as important as AI, but it's important.
Cybersecurity.
It's like last year's AI.
Are you the guy that makes all the money when somebody in this office clicks on a Geek Squad post and then blows up the computers?
That's right. That's me.
God, you guys get so much money. Jason, what is your opinion? How much do you want to hear about politics this year?
Okay, so here's what I want to say to you guys. You guys are not MSNBC. You're not CNN. You're not Fox News. You are the great escape for people like me.
Yes.
Every time I turn on radio or TV, I've got to listen to all the propaganda.
Right.
I turn on to you guys to listen to rock and roll news, to hear austere headlines. I want to hear Chewy talk about food and pot. I don't want to hear political BS. You know. So,
Could I also, sir? Could I
This feels-
apologize to you today for rock and roll news?
Yeah. Will you accept
There
Bob's
there
apology?
were no stories out there today.
well, and I, Bob, and that's okay because I'm going to give you a pass because 99% of the time your rock and roll news kicks ass. But I will say, even
Thank
my
you.
daughter said, "What's wrong with Bob this morning?"
What's her name? Go give her a salute.
Her name is Sable.
All right. Where is it?
She loves you. She loves rock and roll news. We listen to you every morning on the way to school.
What's
and this
wrong
morning she
with
was
Bob
like,
this morning?
"What's wrong
We
with
don't know.
Bob?"
We don't know.
We don't know. I don't know. I just know that I opened up my story machine and there was nothing there.
That's what we have to start calling is the story machine. Yeah, it is. Dude, it's bleak. The landscape is bleak right now, Jason, in our job where, I mean, we're not kidding. We go to lunch and we talk about how we want to be people's escape and fun.
There's no money in that,
Yeah.
by the way.
And goofy. And it is weird because you meet with all these people who go, you guys are doing radio wrong. If you want to make money in radio, you need to throw these bombs and upset people. And there are
Fear.
There are podcasts and there are shows that, and I'm not kidding you, millions of dollars by telling people your next door neighbor is your ultimate enemy.
Load them up.
Right, but here's what I'm saying about all this. Every time people call, they say they love you guys for what you do and the type of content you produce. And I understand that there are consultants out there, and they'll give you a line of this, that, and the other. But here's the other thing. You guys are number one for a reason. You're different. You're not clickbait. You're not these crazy shows that just want to aggravate people and get them to call in. People call in because they love what you guys do, and they love the things you talk about.
Well,
You've
we
been doing
do
it
have
for years.
clickbait. That's available at 6:50 in the morning.
No. But that's not the impetus of your show.
No,
That's
I
not
know.
what you built your cred on.
I know, and we do
I'm
that
just
bit.
saying.
We do these bits, these benchmark bits. We do them to kind of make fun of. I don't want to be rude,
We
but
do them ironically.
we do them around. We're trying to make fun of some other people who.
But we make them our own, and that's what we would do with
Well-
politics, I would think. I don't think it would be your regular run-of-the-mill
We'd have to look into it. I'm
counterpoint.
so afraid of even touching it because it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
Yeah. And again, it's
I mean-
exhausting. So therefore, I turn on your show to get a break from all that because it's an election year, man, and we're just inundated with it. And you guys give us a respite from that. So,
But don't you want a real discussion where there's going to be other
Why?
shows where it's actual.
What's going to get what? Nothing can be affected by us discussing politics.
Right. That's true. We
and
can't
that's
affect
what
change.
nobody sees. The only thing that you can affect is somebody's mood. You can't affect any actual change.
It's going to do what it's going to do.
I think there'll be points made that some people haven't heard before.
And
have
what
a
is and
different
what
way to think.
what good does that do?
It changes the minds of voters.
They already know how to vote.
No,
They know.
No,
they know
I
already know
think
what they're
that
gonna
I
vote
think
for.
that's a
Okay.
level of idealism, and I feel maybe that ship is already pulled out of the harbor.
all right, okay, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
I appreciate
it.
all the compliments, man. And
Oh, and I'm sorry that your daughter had to sit through Bob.
sorry, man. It'll be better tomorrow. I promise.
Let's hear from Jennifer.
Jennifer,
Good morning.
good morning, Jennifer. What do you do here in the city?
I'm an educator.
Okay.
So I'm kind of with Jason. We don't want to hear the
It's
crazy
too-
propaganda. I think you all do it very smart the few times you talk about politics. And
But we don't have an agenda. There's no. It wouldn't be
Correct.
propaganda.
That's right. And the people who have called in lately are kind of open-minded, but sometimes
Gross.
it gets sometimes it's too much, and someone may call that's just a little too out there, and it's not fun. It's aggravating. It's angering. I know that's why you stay away from the Selena document, the one with Yolanda. So why would you bring in politics if you don't want to talk about Yolanda?
Well, it's a topic that would affect all our lives as opposed to our emotions here. Well, thank you. Yeah, no, thanks, Jennifer.
I appreciate it.
I mean, yeah. That's two.
Hey, a quick question.
Must 3 if you count my neighbor.
How come Shakira isn't bigger than she is?
She's huge internationally.
I know, but here in the U.S., why didn't Shakira take
I know,
off more?
because she had a Super Bowl appearance
I was listening.
too, right?
I was listening to her old album from like the '90s, the one with the you know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, this song still pops and jams. How did she not?
Oh.
Is it because she's Colombia as opposed to?
It's like any
Hannah?
American saying, man, why isn't soccer bigger? You just got to leave the country.
Okay. Next call.
Let's go to Bo.
Well, first of all, we have 2 zeros.
Bo.
Bo,
Yeah.
Bo, what do you do
Listen,
here in the city?
I work for Maxwell Ford in the parts department.
Okay. Can you get me a lower ball joint for no reason?
Yeah.
I don't care which vehicle. I just need one lower ball joint.
I think I came to pick up something from you before.
Yes, you have, probably. Listen, I think the little bits and pieces of truths, the politic truths that y'all come out with every once in a while is plenty enough for everybody.
Okay.
You
When something
don't
makes
have to
news,
get
maybe.
over,
Yeah.
you don't have to get overly political, but y'all do. Y'all come out with little bits of truths, and I appreciate that. And actually, that's what brought me back to listening to you guys,
Oh.
is hearing the little bit of truth y'all are putting in y'all show.
Who was speaking the truth? Was it Matt or was it me? Or was it
It was
Bob?
you.
Oh, okay.
It was Chewy.
What was it? He's flexing on me right now. What was the
Island,
what was the truth that he what was the truth he was saying?
something about Epstein Island at one time.
That's right.
okay.
Yeah, damn right. Thank you, Bo.
And that's truths people don't get into and don't know because unless you research it, you're not going to find out about anything.
All the
No,
islands.
you're not.
Jekyll Island as well. All of them. So.
All the islands.
Yeah.
Bohemian Grove?
What's that one where
That's
they
right.
had the fire festival? That island?
Yeah, that's Fire Island.
Fire Island.
There you go.
There you go.
Truths like that, people don't hear and they don't read about it because they're hiding it. They don't want you to know about it.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll go to Bohemian Grove one of these weekends, Bo.
Yeah. Congrats, Chewy.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All
right, well, I'll go.
Y'all have a good day.
All right. All right, yeah, let's not do politics.
Like, you just changed in a hurry, dude. You just... Are you okay?
I think we've just been too
You
silly
have
so far.
whiplash from how fast you just changed?
Well, I'm thinking like how the crazy things we've said and talked about. Why would anyone listen to us about politics?
I don't know.
I forget about some of the things I've said.
We can't
Before.
pronounce where I spent 10 minutes this morning asking you guys, what's that, the thing that does the laundering machine?
Oh,
I
yeah.
spent 10 minutes trying to remember what that's called.
Really wash.
And then somebody wants to listen to my opinion on, well, when it comes to international relations, which involve billions of dollars and literally thousands of people working on the problem, but I've got the solution. Also, what's that thing called where you put your clothes in it and they come out clean? A laundry thing?
A laundry contraption.
Nobody wants to
But
listen.
every show that's quote unquote successful, that's doing sports or politics, they're just parroting stuff that they heard.
I know.
Yeah.
Look,
They're
they're
right.
trading
They're
in dunks. If you can come out with something that sounds like a dunk, people get excited and they go, that guy's got it figured out. He's smart.
But he
the
heard
thing
it
is,
somewhere.
he hasn't, and I know that. I have some friends that I know from college that work for a spooky government agency, right? Yeah. And I don't know exactly what they do because they can't talk about it. But what they do is say is, hey, what you see on the news
Space
is
Force.
about 3% of what the issue is, and no one knows the whole story. But we do, and we're trying to work on it because we know all of the pieces. But most people will never know all of the pieces.
Right.
So they're working on a solution, but the thing is they're trying to solve 3% of the problem. So when everyone gets excited and goes, that person has it figured out, yes, they have it figured out how to fix 3% of the problem. The problem is the other 97% negate their 3%.
Oof.
So just go on and get a barbecue machine and use your music machine and use your beer cooling machine and pull a beer
refrigerator.
Pull a beer holding machine out of the beer colding machine. Use your barbecue machine. Listen to some music
grill.
machine.
Or a smoker.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
right.
and
just live your life.
Wave an American flag and enjoy your life.
Right. And they'll
let the rest of us who accidentally got into this didn't mean to, and now we can't sleep at night because we know how bad this is. Let us worry about it, and the rest of you keep your thumbs up your asses in a good, positive way.
Look, when something big or ridiculous happens, I'm gonna have to say something.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, it won't.
You mean when there's things that actually affect international news?
I want to
like when someone came out with $400 golden sneakers.
That one had to be.
That one we had to talk about that.
And now Texas. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure we'll have.
Bob, can you tell the fine folks about Law Tigers? And then I think I have one Austin area headline to get into. Hey,
Lean in now for some.
Damn, boy!
Oh, sick.
That's a thick-ass boy!
Thick headline.
In January of 2020, Austinites spent $100,000 on non-alcoholic beer in Austin.
That's crazy.
That's when people started talking about stuff like dry January. $100,000 in January in 2020.
So someone bought a round of drinks there?
This past year, in 2024, this past January, Austinites spent more than $500,000 in the first 4 weeks of the year on non-alcoholic beer. I guess some of us are leaning into that dry January.
I don't drink, but I don't know why.
Also, young people are not drinking at the same rate that young people used to drink.
That's what I was talking about yesterday on the Rock and Roll News about the concert business being affected.
I just don't think that young people want to. In a town, this town used to drink a lot, but if you went out to a bar, a well drink was $2 or $3. If you want, like, if you said, "Hey, I want a rum and Coke," you spent $3. Now, if you go out to a bar, they're charging $23, $24 for a cocktail. If you're working for $7 or $8 an hour, why would you spend 4 hours worth of labor on one drink? It doesn't make any sense. And I'm not handing out insults. I'm just saying, well, when it comes to like Gen Z, when you're younger, those tend not to be your best earning years.
Right.
Or you can make the mistakes I made in my life, and all of your years could be not the best earning years. It's really up to you. You have the power, my friends.
Or you can fight the power.
I don't. When my friends are like, let's go out and get drinks, I have a hard time with it now.
Oh, I do too.
Because I'm like, I don't.
Well, it's a lot cheaper at home. I got bottles and bottles of that stuff.
Damn.
Yeah. What? Plus, at my house, we have a sex swing. And the weather's nice, which means
I can put it outside.
I could finally take my... It was so nice this weekend when I took the birdhouse down and hung the sex swing back up. And I was like, the first signs of spring.
It jingles like a wind bell as well.
Yeah.
They keep it outside.
The squirrels love it. You have to grease the chain at the top, or else the squirrels try to get the seeds that are left in the swing.
Dang.
Oh, by the way, they meant seeds. You know what I'm saying? Hey, speaking of not talking about politics, let's get straight into politics. It is Super Tuesday all around the country. Elections happening everywhere. The Texas primaries are happening as well. The biggest thing is, it's kind of set. Inside of like the border of Austin, that's going to go blue. Outside, it might go purplish. The biggest thing happening in the landscape of Texas is fellow GOPers are spending millions of dollars this election against fellow GOPers. There's a bit of a civil war happening inside of the GOP, and it probably may dictate where the state GOP is going to head for the next, decade or so. Ken Paxton and Governor Greg Abbott have both declined to support a lot of other GOPers that are running out there who currently hold offices. This all stems back to the same thing. The multiple special sessions, Some people really want the school voucher system to go through. A lot of politicians, especially those in rural districts, can't vote for it because the people in the rural districts have figured out, oh, this isn't good for us. This will destroy our schools, and as a result, will probably mean that what small amount of people that still live in the rural districts, they're going to leave. They're going to end up leaving. We're going to have a harder and harder time of keeping our smaller city afloat. I don't know why Paxton and I mean, I'm sure that's probably, we always say the same thing, follow the money. I don't know why Paxton and Abbott aren't more worried about these rural voters. Maybe there's just not enough. I don't know. But anyway, there's literally spending like $6-7 million, not in a general election, but in a primary. That's a big spend.
That's a lot of money.
Anyway, if you want to vote,
a lot of it goes to the media, though, so we're all for it.
Yeah, well, I will say we're running like 18 different hours over here, and we charge. You don't get any discount if you're a politician, so I love it because it's good for us. It means we get to go to steak dinners. Representative Dwayne Burns, a Claiborne Republican, says, and he's from a small district, and he voted against the school choice bill. He said, it's not fun having statewide elected officials disparage your character. And then he spit into a spittoon. You can't be named Dwayne Burns and not carry a spittoon with you everywhere. And I'm not trying to be a jerk to the guy. Like, you earned that right. You know he's got those wide, square toes on his boots, too. You know what I mean? They're not pointy toes. They're a big, wide, square.
Oh, yeah.
Dwayne Burns. Woof. You know he's not going to no drag show. I'll tell you that right now.
Hell no.
I ain't going unless there's a spittoon. Then I'll show up. We'll have a good time. We got time for one or two more here. Let's get in this. Oh, by the way, I am going to warn you. Today's like the last day you can kind of get out and do stuff in the city. Tomorrow is when people start flying in for South by, and it starts getting, and then you have 10 days of busy. So if there's anything you need to do downtown, if you need to pick up a prescription,
get some gingham or some flour, back tack or whatever.
If you got to go by one of the old school jewelry stores that are still downtown,
you got to shoe your horse.
Something. You got to get a boot
get
shine.
Down to the blacksmith.
Maybe for some reason you have to go look at art at the Jones Contemporary Art, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
If you have to have a conversation with a guy that's holding an empty gas can that tells you he needs $5 to get to Houston, whatever you need to do downtown,
got to get it done now.
Got to get it done now, or you got to wait 10 days. Right. That's just how the city works. And by the way, before you bitch and moan about South by Southwest and how it's destroying the city, remember this: it dumps about $1 trillion into the system. And if you think your property taxes are high, think of how much higher they would be if we didn't have all that extra money being dumped into the system by a couple of kids from San Francisco with a neck tattoo of a honey bun. They're doing the good Lord's work here by coming here and spending their parents' money in our city while they pretend to be a screenwriter or a musician or something. The cloak and dagger is working great for our bottom line, okay?
Right.
So let's leave it alone, people. Leave it alone. And finally, let's get into what really matters. The 7 best hotel pools in Austin. Are you ready? Or do you want it? Should I click, boom this tomorrow?
Ooh, that might be good. I'm planning on being sexy this summer, and I'm going to hit those pools.
The ladies already know this information. It's the guys that don't know this information.
I'll get into that tomorrow. I'll get to this. Is the last story I'll give you. Here's who the typical person is that's moving to Austin. Typical person.
Okay.
Between 2021 and 2022, 72,000 people from different states moved to Austin.
Wow.
Many movers to Austin are white, millennial, and have a higher income than the people already living in Austin.
The worst of the worst.
People who moved to Austin said they were drawn to the city's jobs and relatively low cost of living.
Whew. What does that tell you?
How many of those people you think were born into money?
People who moved to Austin said they were drawn to the city for the city's long lines, impossible to get into restaurants, influencer-influenced hamburger pop-ups, and unbearable heat from now through November.
No, the heat works in our favor now. There's tens of thousands of people that have moved here that have not experienced the heat yet. So we're going to lose from attrition probably 30-40% of those people that move here. They're going to move back to where they came from after they experience one summer.
I hope it hits 130.
Right.
People who moved to Austin say they were drawn to the city's long distance from their parents whose money they're spending here in the city, and because of the delightful feeling they have when they're eating lunch at a sidewalk cafe in the middle of the week and Bob drives by and gets livid and pissed off that people are living their best, weird, young, sexy,
entitled,
get laid, fun life. $76,000 is the average income for people who are currently moving to Austin from outside of the city.
Damn.
Chewy and I have now announced that
we're roommates. We're roommates now.
No, that Chewy and I are going to move to a different state and then come back.
It's easier to fly here. It's cheaper.
The states from now. 5 years ago, the argument was people kept bitching about California, but it turned out the majority of people moving to Austin were moving to Austin from Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. The states that people are moving here from the most now, Florida, Georgia, New York.
Oh, the worst of the worst.
California.
Oh.
Ew. Guess what? You know how many people moved here from Kansas?
How many?
247.
Not bad, Kansas.
Not bad, Kansas. Way to go, Kansas. Speaking of Chewy, you had a big weekend, Chewy. You've got a big weekend coming up this weekend, which the city's all very excited about, where you're going to take your boys, apparently all over the entire city in a 48-hour period.
Your homies?
Mm-hmm.
The squad.
Crew.
But last weekend, you experienced something for the first time. Something that I've experienced before because my wife has to make sure that my kids are always enjoying their life to the fullest.
Are they?
And something I think Bob has still never experienced.
No, but a close second. I've been to a couple Eeyore's birthdays, so it's a close second.
Well, we haven't even talked about what it is. So what is close to an Eeyore's birthday in your mind?
Some kind of medieval event.
That's
a
right.
Ren fair.
You went out to Sherwood Forest Fair.
I did. It's my first time, too. Had a remote there. Thank you to everybody that,
And Ziegenbach was sponsoring it.
Yes.
Not any other Bach.
No.
Let's be careful.
I don't know any other box.
How many stormtrooper outfits did you see while you were there?
I didn't see a lot of stormtroopers. I'm trying to think of the crazy.
Like some Boba Fett's. There's a weird thing that started happening with Renaissance festivals where they're just now like fantasy fests or something, and people show up dressed in...
I think that's cool because I felt really underdressed. I mean, there were some regular dudes like me.
Uh-huh.
You mean gen poppers?
Yeah. But, I mean,
we call them observers, right? You're just an observer. You're not really part of the... You're not really participating, right?
We have some listeners that go out there every single weekend, for every day of every weekend. It's like their high holiday.
Yeah, I don't...
They write us every once in a while to let us know that we would actually have a blast if we went out and spent more time at the...
they have British accents and everything, or medieval accents.
They have what they think might be a medieval accent. I don't think it's what anybody sounded like in medieval times. I think we spoke Old English, right? And it didn't...
Indubitably.
Speaking of Old English, did they have any Old English out there?
That's the other thing, too, is like everyone's coming and talking at you like that.
Right.
And I didn't know how to do that.
Good
and so I would always just go, yes.
Yes.
Yes. To everything everybody was saying.
So they would come up and they would say, pretty,
And I would say,
the governor has sent me to procure a Ziegenbach. And you would say,
yes.
Purveyor of prizes at the prize table.
Were you... Yeah, what kind of remote was it? Were you inside or outside
I was
of the
right
Craig
inside
Rands?
the new gate entrance. They got a new gate entrance.
They got a new gate?
So you were a greeter.
Pretty much.
So you were like, how did you greet?
Ah, yes.
Were you wearing your Michael Jackson shirt, or did you have something more? Did you dress up for
At all? Anything?
I just wore a T-shirt and some jeans.
Like a jester's hat
Wait,
or
so
something?
you put no. God, imagine if they had asked CJ to do this remote. He would have been in a full knight's costume with a joust, one of those big lances
Yeah. No, it was definitely a remote
on the back
for
of an
CJ.
ostrich.
That's why I appreciated it.
Did you send him a picture of how little effort you put into it just to make him angry?
Well, there was a costume rental right next to me, so I could have.
Oh, you could rent?
I could join in.
On
yeah.
the way in, you can rent a costume?
I could have just got a hat or something
Who
like that.
doesn't want to wear some other nerd's sweat all for the day?
They wash them.
Oh, really?
but-
Really?
Fortnightly.
But I mean, it was nice because all the women have the
You mean the ladies,
pull
the
Oh, they
ladies
put
of the
jugs
manor?
out for sure,
they pull
don't
the
they?
things out. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They
I'm
do.
liking
Yeah,
that.
but
I like
it's
a big
sometimes there's so much lift that you can't tell, like,
What it is without it
right.
What does that mean?
Well, it's all,
presented and
Well, that was the thing. That was the bodice. You put that out there in them olden days. That's why they made so many kids back there in England.
Indubitably.
that's why they like wearing them because
So-
they all look good.
What's your takeaway from your first? That's your first time ever be at a Renaissance
How many
festival,
turkey
right?
legs did you put down?
I get it now. I actually got a Scotch egg and some dragon toes.
Oh, that's right. You send it. What were dragon toes?
Chicken
It
strips.
was bacon wrapped chicken.
Oh. If
So
you're,
delicious.
I'm assuming if you grow up as a young Tejano boy in Thrall, Texas, it's not like every weekend the family's like, hey,
They probably never even heard of it.
let's go today.
What were Mexicans doing the Renaissance during that time?
There were no Mexicans during that time.
They were Mayans still.
There were just Mayans at that time.
Man.
And is
And they were-
Renaissance
And they were writing the movie Apocalypto.
No,
Yes.
Mel Gibson.
now? Is Renaissance actually a correct nomenclature for? Because when I think of the Renaissance, I think of painters
Yes.
and sculptors,
Yes.
and things like that. I
Yes.
think this is like more dark, somewhere between Dark Ages.
Bob,
This is
there's
more-
nothing historically accurate about a Renaissance festival. They are what they are.
It's not actually the Renaissance.
No,
that
if you
they're
wanted to have a-
portraying.
It's
It's,
Sherwood
it's
Forest Fair.
medieval times.
If you wanted to have a true Renaissance festival or whatever you call those, Renaissance fair, if you wanted to have a true, everybody would be speaking a lot more Italian.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Well, those are the families that brought everybody. The Renaissance
'Cause this is
came out of city-states in what is now known as Italy.
But this is Sherwood Forest Fair, so it's Robin Hood. And what was during that time?
Well, he
Well,
didn't
that was
exist.
fictional. Yeah,
There's
was
there's that
like,
issue.
I mean, there may
Kevin
have been
Costner played a fake dude?
there may have been a dude that.
We all know that Robin Hood was a fox. Okay,
I love that one.
it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Did you see any hippos?
And
So-
all in all, I really actually like the vibe. I see the vision,
Yeah.
and I've been told about some of the camp, site fun that goes on.
Oh, you heard about all the drugs and the sex that happens because that's what people take their kids there, and they don't realize that these fairs, it's straight up all night long. The sun goes down, and it goes to heavy nerd banging for sure. Everyone's
there
switching
overnight camping?
tents. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
People pop from
Every
tent
weekend.
to tent, and there's all kinds of swapping going on.
I'm
and-
going glow weekend.
dude, nerds bang a lot more than regs do.
Wow, I didn't know they had overnight camping.
Yeah, this is the only stimulation they get.
Tent
There's
camping.
overnight camping for regs, and there's overnight camping for the people that work there, and they don't always switch and swatch between the two campgrounds.
But thank you, Sherwood Forest Fair. I had a great time.
Thank you for fixing the reputation too. When I went out there before, I had a bit of a negative run-in, and I've been back now since. But I'm embarrassed the entire time I'm there. I'm like, everybody knows that I'm the guy.
I did like the guy that you throw tomatoes at. I honestly wouldn't mind doing that.
He's a
wouldn't
good
be-
heckler, isn't
Was
The
he in
guy-
stocks?
No, yeah, he's kind of in stocks, and you try to hit him with a tomato in the face,
And he's good with this?
and
he makes funny.
He makes funny the entire time.
They told me there was one guy that was just going too far, and they took him off.
Oh, really?
I think that'd be fun if I just insulted everybody.
Were
and
there
they'll try to hit me.
battles? Were there battles?
Yeah, there was jousting, which, by the way, is full contact. If you can handle that.
There was a guy one time who my daughter They gave her tomatoes. We paid so she could throw it. And I think the guy yelled, "Why don't you come back when you can menstruate?" Which was pretty good.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, they said that back then.
It's family fun, but also
It's still olden times.
yeah. You think that they're worried about political correctness in 1108? I don't think so.
Those kids would be working. And
Right.
they will be once Republicans pass more bills.
Wow.
Well,
Good for you.
I think y'all should go out.
Did they
all
pay
you
you in U.S. dollars or did
Shekels.
they pay you in?
Did you only get just a Scotch egg and dragon toes, or did you hit up the rest of the stuff out there?
I should have got a
'Cause
turkey leg.
Did you realize? Oh, this is all about food. That's why people are here.
Yeah.
I get a steak on a stick. Every single time I get a steak on a stick. I'm trying to think of what else I get.
I want to try all the food, actually. I really do.
I get a giant baked potato.
And they said they'd hook me up, Sherwood Forest Fair. Get me in there.
They also have that pineapple where they gut out the pineapple and they fill it with frozen pineapple custard.
Ooh.
That's pretty tight.
Did you talk to the king? Who's telling you
They
to
have a
hook you
king
up?
out there, an
I
actual
interviewed
king.
Robin Hood.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He was.
Stand still and put this apple on top of your head.
Yeah.
What did he give you?
I don't know.
Because he steals from the rich and gives to the poor. You must have got something.
I don't know. Unless he slipped something in my pocket.
Yeah.
He wasn't carrying anything.
Now, Bob, you say you've never, ever, ever, ever been to one of these fantasy fairs.
Never probably will.
What do you mean never will?
I've never been invited, but I don't. It's not my brand, I guess.
Hey, you don't want a puzzle ring?
Not really.
Or a clay pot?
And you always have to go like an hour and a half, right? How far away is it?
No, it's
To get
right.
to a
It's
good
right.
one.
It's like 35
Yeah,
minutes.
it's not far at all.
Too far.
The one in Page, this one, the Sherwood that we're talking about is right here. It's in our backyard,
It's
dude.
right here.
Oh.
How have you never, ever been?
Well, if they send a carriage,
I'm surprised that your
I'll
wife
go.
hasn't made you go and take the boys.
I'm going to text her and tell her to make you go.
I bet
Because y'all have to do that.
I bet your sons would be
she
into
would
it.
divorce me if I asked her to go.
No.
Yeah.
No, and I messaged her about a sandwich place. Like I'm not dealing with y'all anymore.
do
And
you
I even
mean?
messaged Kara to see if we could take off Friday. I'm dealing with y'all's wives because I think that's how I really get things done.
Right.
And they just put it on the schedule, and then y'all have to do it.
Wait. The show breaks. You messaged my wife to see if we could take off Friday. What does that mean?
Just to see if we can get Friday off.
We had Friday off. You already had Friday off.
See, worked already. Works like a charm.
Does it work?
I just said, I'll come in here to run the and you guys were like, well, no, I guess we can't take the day off then if you're going to come run the rerun.
No. Quote us correctly. We said we can't take the day off if you're going to come in and showboat. Let's get the quote accurate.
That's true. Oh, we got damn Renaissance people calling in.
Okay, let's talk to them.
In accents? Hello.
Ethan.
Beautiful King's Day.
Yes.
Huzzah to the king.
Is this the lady of the manor or the lord of the manor?
What's up, y'all?
It's the lord of the manor.
The Lord of the Manor.
The Lord of the Manor.
How goes it, lord?
Nerd Hotline.
Oh, it goes. Chewy, you need to come out again and camp with me, bro. I'm out there every weekend. You know this. And
Here's
Bob
the
and
other
Matt-
thing is I'm recruiting for my orgy as well, and I feel like this might
That's
be
a
the
good place to recruit. Hey, Ethan, I'm not wrong in this supposition, am I, that there's a lot of like tent swapping and stuff that goes on out there?
It's absolutely debaucherous. I've had an experience myself.
You know,
Whoa,
Matt, there
tell
is-
us.
Yeah.
in many of the tents.
Yes.
In many of the tents, there's a stripper pole in the middle of the tent.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was one. I've had a couple try to swap with me and a friend of mine before. It was very strange.
Now you got to be in.
Sounds delightful. Why am I sounding like Jiminy Glick now?
I don't know. It makes no sense.
It makes
It has nothing
no
to do
sense.
with what we're talking
It
about.
makes
does
no
it?
sense.
All right. All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Floppy.
We got another. What do you?
One more nerd, Robert.
Hey, Robert. Thanks for putting down your harp and fife to call us.
Sir Robert, how is it?
Tis well.
Tis well.
I wanted to, Chewy, you said that they actually got rid of the that heckler that took it too far.
No, someone told me that happened before. Yeah, not while I was there.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate because one of my frat boy friends who just, ego was one of his best things.
Wait a minute, you have a frat boyfriend? What did you just say? What did you just say?
Yeah, couldn't you just say, like, a frat brother? Like, a frat boyfriend, I got to be honest with you, has a weird connotation.
Yes.
It sounds very...
yes, but not at the olden Sherwood Forest. We accept all people and places.
Yeah, but to answer your question, Bob, he's not in stock. He can actually duck the tomatoes, but I wonder what happens with all, like, the tomato acid after it splatters through that hole. Like, how bad it must smell back there.
They make pizza.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Indubitably.
Thank you, sir. No one thinks of the
There
rotten
are so
tomatoes.
many different types, too, when you go, because it's an odd mix, because there are, like, old school, like, Harley bikers who dress up and they like going and feeling kind of tough. Mm-hmm. And then you have
people
like
young...
Are
they prancing? Like this music here. Are there people that are like prancing?
Yes.
There they
but
are.
they're... The weird thing about a Renaissance fair is the people who are really into it, there is no middle ground. They are either very MAGA or very, very progressive. And it's an odd mix of people who are hanging out because there are young... trans kids dressed as, I don't know, woodland creatures or something.
Elves, yeah.
And then there are old dudes who will wear like a kilt and a shirt that say, these colors don't run, and I'd love to punch you in your effing face, you effing Q.
Maybe
right?
that's why I'm not going, because I can't decide on a team.
Well, here's the one thing that brings them together is the scent of
the wenches.
The scent the scent of a sweat that you can only give off when you're wearing a metal breastplate.
Well, let me ask you this. How would it differ from, say, and I've experienced this, Comic-Con sweat?
Most of those people are coming from a hotel, not from a tent. So there's a thing called a shower.
Not as musky.
Yeah.
Hey,
also, Comic-Con tends to have running water and real bathrooms, not portalettes.
But I feel like that Comic-Con sweat is like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy's bedroom kind of smell.
Well, this is open air, so it's not inside. Okay.
Yes.
Indubitably.
Huzzah!
There's some good-looking wenches out there.
Precisely.
Chewy,
I said
are
some.
there...
Did I not say some? A couple? 3.
Winches with...
I feel like there's a lot of... I feel like there's a lot of swipe lefts.
Well, yeah, but in real life, when everyone's already sweating, we're already out here. Hot. You got those things mushed up to the top.
It is funny
Right
that
under your
you can...
chin.
You ever been to the Sherwood Forest Fair, Oliver?
No, I haven't. But are we talking like modern day attractive or like the only woman in your peasant village attractive, Chewy?
Oh, that is a different kind of attractive.
Yes.
Yes. The stench of a winch.
I mean...
some more modern.
I think it's interesting that so many of the ladies out there have dressed up as Henry VIII.
I didn't see as many hairy underarms as I thought I would.
Really?
No.
Well, good for you, I guess.
So,
Dad, can I ask you two important questions?
Okay.
One is, did you do the big giant swing right inside the entrance?
No, but
why not?
Somebody got married that morning too. I saw they had a carriage ride around the thing, and I was like, "Oh, that's beautiful! Oh, yeah."
Oh my God!
Like a Cinderella carriage? Or
Everyone
was it a
loved it. They were
pumpkin
gushing.
carriage?
They were like, "Oh my God!"
Why would you get married at a place that is for swingers?
Maybe they met at the Renaissance Fair and were swinging, and they looked at each other during the orgy and said, "That's the person I want to be with."
So you did not ride the big swing?
I didn't ride the big swing.
Couldn't find enough guys to get you swinging, huh? To push you?
No, it'd be fun to joust or do a night fight.
What other novelties do they have at the fair?
They got swords. You can make swords.
Are there like a lot of booths?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all there is.
He said booths, not boobs.
Oh,
booths. There are, dude. The thing is the amount of the boobs that are out. If you just are into big cleavage, it's a place to go. And I'm talking both male and female. There's a lot of it out there, and you can go check it out. And then there's also like a guy that sells, like, because my son really wanted a sword one. Like, he just had his heart set on a sword. But the guy sells all the swords that he sells. They're like carved wooden swords, but they're all like $800. And I'm like, I'm not getting you an eight. Like, you're out of your mind.
They're handmade.
You're out of your mind.
All right.
You know where
of course, we went last year, I think, with CJ, and CJ because CJ doesn't have kids, he doesn't know how to be around them.
And gets paid more than us?
So at the very beginning, 5 minutes into the fair, because he wants people to like him badly, and he wanted my son to like him, he went and bought a crossbow for my child.
Oh, the little, I've seen those.
But you can't shoot them in the fair. And he doesn't understand that I have to tell my child, you have to hold on to a crossbow, but you can't pull the trigger for 6 hours.
What torture?
Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to tell a 9-year-old you can hold on to this crossbow, but you can't pull the trigger for 6 hours?
Man, that's torture.
It is.
Well, it should be torture at a medieval fest. Yes. You know where a lot of the costumes break down?
Where?
The footwear. By the time you get down to the footwear, like you get a perfect knight's costume because, plastic armor is cheap and you can get Halloween. But then you get down, the lower you go, and then you get down to the feet, and then it's New Balance.
I didn't know that Caterpillar made boots back in the olden times.
Because real boots are expensive.
Yeah,
that'd be cool to paint your some AF1s silver.
Right. Yes.
Looking.
Indubitably.
Ah, yeah. So I had a good time. Ultimately,
I'd like to go. Someone would
Sherwood
drive.
Forest Fair.
I don't want to drive.
Thank you, Zeke and Bach. Thank you, all of the people. That
You didn't have any
up.
mead?
They were all friendly. No, I was drinking Zeke. Yeah.
Delightful.
I dressed up one year to go to a Renaissance Festival, not the one that's out here, the one that's in Magnolia. It's called Texas Renaissance,
big Texas one, yeah.
whatever. And I was in high school. And I remember, you're just bored. There's not a lot you can do. And I convinced a buddy of mine to go with me. And I was like, oh, you get in free if you dress up. That's what I had always heard. So we made these outfits, and I didn't really have the stuff to make an outfit. I just was looking to get out there for the day.
Anything green or brown?
You can wear rags.
Well, I didn't know that pantyhose and tights were different. I thought they were the same thing. I'm not a dude, right? I didn't know. My mom had these, kind of purplish pantyhose, but I thought that was the same as tights. What I didn't realize is that when you wear pantyhose, you essentially, if the light's just shining behind you, you're showing everybody your dingles because you can see through it.
Ah, the fruit basket.
Yes, the fruit of the
Bring
room.
out the fruit basket.
Here comes the room with the fruits.
Yeah. And I wore kind of this big shirt that I belted over the top of it. But all day, as the wind blew between my thighs, I was just like, I think I'm. And he was like, yeah, dude, I literally can see every bit of your big chunk was there.
You can see the vein.
You're printing.
Yeah.
You can see it.
And then, and when we got there, we had to drive an hour to get there. When we got there, they were like, that'll be $26. And we're like, what are you talking about? We dressed in costume. And they're like, so? And I was like, don't you get in free if you dress in a costume? And like, what the hell are you talking about? You think we come out here to not make money? You got to pay money. So then we get in there, and then my buddy was like, well, I'm not paying. So I had to pay for him.
Did your tights have that, white cotton crotch?
Yeah. And then right behind it was my little prisoner in the stocks there.
You've got to free him.
And I was wearing what I thought looked like a floppy kind of hat from the Renaissance time, but it was just one of those 1970s denim hats that like Bruce Springsteen used to wear or whatever.
Right.
So I didn't even look like I was from the Renaissance. I looked like I was somebody who had a head injury. Then at one point I saw this woman freaking out. There was a wasp in her hair. And when she threw the wasp out, she threw it directly onto the side of my face. And it stung me. And then my face swole up. And the guy who saw it goes, oh, hang on. And he broke a cigarette. And he poured a little beer in it. And he pushed it against my face. And he's like, that'll take the sting out. And I go, how about giving me the rest of that beer? And he goes, okay. And then he goes, wait, how old are you? And I was like, 17. And he's like, oh, I can't give you that beer, dude. Sorry. And I was like, what the?
Matt, was there no apothecary on site to treat you?
That's how it all started for me. And that's why I think for always I've had like and then I go that year and everybody knows the story about when I got into a physical altercation with a young guy because I lost my temper and it was before I discovered Lexapro.
A marshmallow trebuchet.
It's not, I don't know what you're laughing at there.
I can't laugh?
No, not for this show. It's not funny.
You knave.
Steven, really fast since we have a 2-minute break.
Yeah, quick observation. You're yes, is getting real drunk Orson Welles.
Yeah. What was the wine? What was the wine?
Thank you, sir.
Ernest and Julio Gallo.
That's the greatest compliment I've ever
Ernest
had.
and
sir.
Julio
Thank you.
Gallo.
Try the wine. That's like a 9-year callback. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll see y'all out there this year.
I'd like to go.
I'm glad you had fun, though.
I actually did, and I'm going to camp this year with Floppy there.
I'm gonna. I got tickets. We were supposed to go this weekend and go see you, but something came up, and so we're going another weekend now. My kids love it. Kids love it.
I mean, I get why kids would love it, and
It's just hard for me. There's just literally, I have no interest in buying clothes to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I have no interest in pottery, or a wind chime, or a puzzle ring. So there's literally
What about-
nothing. And
What about Dreamcatcher?
Oh.
I have no dreams left to catch.
well, we have, there are a lot of carriages out there that needed some work too. So
Where did they need works?
All four corners.
a lot of them were mostly go. Couldn't stop.
I can't stop.
Are you trying to lead into something?
Yeah.
What are you trying to lead into?
Breaks to go.
Breaks to go.
They'd head out to the show with
There you
Forest
go.
Fair.
We interrupt this nod to the odd. What? To bring you a phone call that's come through by a gentleman who's
Well-
seeking the wisdom of dudes who don't know.
The life doctors.
The life doctors.
In this case, the love doctors.
Chewy, can you put that gentleman back on?
Yes,
He called
it is-
during. Yeah, secret. Now we don't have your name out there. What's up, dude?
T.
Way better. All right.
All right. Perfect. Don't
There's
curse.
been a
Yeah.
situation-
Remember all the MFers you were just throwing around?
Because I was talking to y'all.
I got
all
you.
year.
Okay. You got a lady situation happening.
Got a lady situation, so everything went really cool. We started dating at about Christmas time. She came
Cuffing
pretty much
season.
immediately,
Yeah.
and then went
Wait.
into like Christmas with my family, and like I started attaching to her kid.
Right.
And then it's been 2 months of just really fifth gear. I realized that, and then going hot and heavy. And then it was like, okay, cool. I need to actually take a break for a second and like reevaluate things because she's single mom with a kid. I'm like, okay, fair enough. But in the meantime, I keep being like, all right, well, like, what's up? Like occasionally I'll just check. I'll like text her and be like, hey, how are you? How's your day? But then like, I don't know, I saw on her Instagram that she was sick. And so I just dropped off some soup and some eggs at her front doorstep because I was like, all right, just as a nice gesture. I didn't knock on the door. I'm not expecting anything back. I'm just kind of setting it there. It's just, here you go, just being nice. And then I'm not really expecting anything back. I just kind of want to show that I care more about than just sex, you know?
Okay.
So, I just don't know if I shot myself in the foot just now.
How would you
If
shoot your? Okay, add a
a
quick.
little bit too hard.
Oh, because she's saying, "Hey, I need some space."
Yeah, because she's like, I need space. And then I've gone...
Well, because we just got
Okay.
out of cuffing
What?
season,
Yeah,
right?
we did. Let's get into something important. First of all, what kind of soup did you drop off?
It was chicken tortilla soup, homemade. It was super awesome. My roommate was like giving me all sorts of eyes, like, "Oh wow, this is way better than last time." Like, that's
Okay.
right.
What kind of
I made
eggs did
chips
you
and
drop off?
everything. I made. They are some farm fresh Liberty Hill eggs from, I think it's called the Chicken Lady.
Okay,
So,
but they're not
quality-
Easter. They're not
all
decorated.
No, they're not. I mean, they're
Yeah,
they're
you
all
shot
different
yourself in the
colors. They're
foot.
brown,
Every woman loves a decorated egg.
Fabergé.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you did just get out of cuffing season, and that's what happens. Is a lot of people get right past Valentine's Day and they go, "Oh my God, what am I doing? I got to get out of this."
They didn't want to be alone during the holiday season.
Right.
And now, what do they get? Easter? You're not going to stick around with somebody for Easter.
What was so special about this young lady that had you going in hot and heavy fifth gear the entire time?
So I saw as a person, she just seemed really cool. Obviously, she's like really attractive, so I'm down with both of those things. Her personality-wise, we vibe kind of the same way. She's like super ADD. I'm super ADD, so again, I'm in my head just thinking all the time.
Right.
She is very health conscious, really good
healthy habits. Like, I like the person there, and then seeing the way that she treats her daughter, I'm just like, dang, this is the person I would want. This is like the figure of like who I would want my like mother of my children or my spouse to be. Someone that you can talk to. We weren't really arguing about it. Like, everything seemed like we could have nice conversations. Even in that last conversation I had with her, she was like, wow, no one's ever had a conversation like this with me. And I'm just like, all right, well, then what's up?
But how do you know it cooled?
I got to think about me.
How do you know it cooled?
Because she told him she wants
Oh, she did. She did say that.
Yeah, she said, "I want space. I want you to take off for a bit."
At Valentine's dinner. So going with your theory.
Boy, that is taking the cuffing season.
That is literally
theory.
That is a literal cuffing season
to the minute.
And I should be angry about this. I should be like, man, screw you. But I still sit in the back, and I'm like, dang. And I'm like,
you're going to ruin your life if you're angry. People make choices. You don't have to take them all personally. Let me ask you another question, if you don't mind, sir. She said on February 14th, she said, I need a little space. How many times have you called her, plus texted her, plus dropped by her house, plus whatever? How many contacts?
This was the first time I've come by her house.
No, I said plus. I want to know how many.
Okay,
how many?
So I'm going backwards now, and so I've gone up. So she's a bartender. I've gone up to her work. So this has happened now. This has happened before. It was about a week-ish almost before Valentine's. She started kind of telling me like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Well, are we going to Valentine's?" Like, yes. So since then, that week after Valentine's Day, I sent one text, like basically a day, kind of like, "Hey, what's up?" And then I started going a little softer. And then eventually I showed up at her work once and just dropped off a coffee and just like, hey, what's up? And then I bounced. And then there was like a week and a half of silence.
So it took 2 weeks for her to get what she asked for.
Yeah, it took a bit, and I was very self-admitted, and I told her on that last conversation, I apologized. I'm like, I wouldn't like me either. I know I'm being very clingy.
Oof, that's not a way to sell yourself.
The person I want to be.
You're doing the Lord's work because you are putting out there lessons for other young men out there right now. But this is, and I mean this politely. What name are we giving you while we talk to you right now? We call you T. Is that okay?
Tyrone.
All right, Tyrone. You better call. You better call your friends and come get your ass because, dude, she told you don't be hungry, and all you've been trying to do is eat the entire time. So now she's like.
So let me preface this more too. We had a trip planned pretty quickly. She was like, we're going to go to Colorado and go skiing.
Yeah.
I put down like $500 on like lift tickets and stuff.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, this all happened. Like, yo,
hey, no cursing,
so
please.
I still going on this trip?
No cursing, but also. No, you're not going on the trip, dude. You're not going on the trip.
I know. She said that finally. And that's what got me in my head of contacting back because I'm like, hey.
She told you. Like, she told you when you were at dinner.
Said, yes, you are still.
Bro.
I was like, okay, well, what does that mean then? You should talk to me then.
I'm going to use a word that's going to upset you, but I want you to know that I'm telling it to you, and we're telling you this word as friends, not as enemies.
This is why I called.
Okay. This is called tough love. But right now, I'm not saying you're fully in, but you have a leg and an arm at least. You have half your body in stalker territory. And I know you don't want to hear that because you want to say, I'm not a stalker, I'm in love, and I'm trying to show her that. But right now, when somebody says, bro, I need space, and you bring a coffee to the work, you're justifying that in your mind as, hey, man, I'm just trying to do something nice for her. But she has said in her motions and her actions, I don't really want you around right now, either for good or for evil. Either she doesn't like you and doesn't know how to man up and just say to you, you know what? It turns out I lost my mind. I don't like you at all. She wants to be nice about it. Or she really is trying to figure S out because she has a kid and all that, and you're not helping.
That's what I was thinking.
So it could be a good or a bad, but either way, you are shooting yourself in the foot, my man.
Yeah, you got to disappear.
I know. And I told her that straight up to her face. Like, I don't know why I keep doing this, but I am shooting myself. And these are the exact words I said
but if
to her,
she's looking for someone to be a reliable mate in the future, all you're showing her is that you've got some red flags about What kind of?
Yeah.
And I'm now holding your hand and saying, dude.
I know.
If she gets lonely and hungry, she will hunt you down. But right now, she doesn't have a chance to get lonely or hungry or even thirsty because you're showing up to work and bringing her drinks.
I know.
She works.
Go back and get those.
I think you were trying to salvage something that was already gone. So let me give you some advice so we don't get in this position again, Tyrone. How old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay. I guess we're about close to the same age. Look, you said she's an attractive woman, right? And what does that mean in this day and age? Everybody has contact with her. That means she has a lot of options.
She works at a bar.
She might have an ex.
So the problem,
she has all the options.
So the issue I see mentally that I've done before, and a lot of people out there do, you grow attached to this because it's some good stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's a gorgeous woman, maybe the hottest you've had. So you start fantasizing about a life about them. You start envisioning this future, and you grow attached to that future. You grow attached, and you attach emotion to that future. Don't do that. Until you're actually moving in together, don't start envisioning that kind of stuff. And the other thing is, again, she's an attractive woman. She's going to have a lot of different offers. A lot of people in her DMs. Do not solely attach to her. Make sure that you talking to someone else. That way, when this falls through, or possibly falls through, there's an easy fallback.
I think that's what's pissing me off is, I feel like I'm in a very good space. Before this, I had, 50 matches on him. I'm not bragging, but I'm just I walked around, people look at me, but I have my head down, just sulking, just thinking about this one person.
Yeah, it's called a breakup, and it does that. But it doesn't. You gotta mourn all that, and then get. It's tough talk. We've all made the same mistake, but you gotta. There is no. Well, I think just the thing is, but I had this. So what? This is a trip. It's a speed bump. You got to get back to where you were before.
Is there one thing that you didn't like about her?
I don't like that she is very just carefree with her timing.
All right, then amplify that.
Amplify it.
Amplify that and focus on that and go, that's not the kind of person that I want to be. That the person doesn't deserve me.
Yeah, you romanticize the whole thing.
You're a good dude. I know you. You've got to. What was that old?
We know you're a good guy because when you're hurting, you called a show and gave us free content, and we appreciate that, sir. We know that you're a good person.
And look, I've done the free thing where you're just getting gifts, and I've sent a woman food to her house, and she was probably at another dude's house getting rammed.
Sometimes that nice guy's finish last thing is a truism.
Yeah. Let me ask you another question, T. Are you familiar with the brand Supreme?
Yes.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about, the brand Supreme.
Yeah.
It's to buy anything from there, you got to line up, right? Can you buy any of those Supreme products at Target, at Walmart, on Amazon?
You can buy them from China, but
they're not real. To get the real thing, it's limited edition. Yeah. There's very few, so everybody wants it, even though it's just red stuff with white writing on it, right?
Yep.
So if you're going hot and heavy in just 2 months with somebody, you made yourself available at Target and at Walmart and at Amazon, right?
Yeah, it just values the crap out of me, and it makes me look bad. And that's why I told her straight up, I'm like, I'm not this person.
You went into
this, and it sucks.
Right, because you went into simp territory, and I don't even mean that. Look,
I did.
It doesn't mean that you should play games with somebody's brain, but she's probably smoking hot and super fun, and you thought, oh my God, I don't want to lose this. And sometimes you got to play a little bit of cool in the beginning. And for whatever, look, you can't read her mind. You have no idea. But generally speaking,
what's her sister look like?
This is what we've learned on this show over the years. When a lady makes any decision,
she gave me so much.
When a lady makes any decision, it's because she's already thought it through. It's not guys will literally go, I think I want to break up, and then they'll come back a week later because they're like, no, that's not what I wanted because our brains don't work right. But a lady has usually had multiple hours of conversations with some other friends of hers, and she has come to a conclusion before she tells you, hey, I want to call this off, right? And you're looking because you have all these other breadcrumbs, and you're like, well, maybe we can salvage it because we still have this trip. Yeah, that trip is sailed, dude. That money's lost. F it. All of it's lost.
I know that. I've already written that off. It was my behavior leading into why I was behaving.
Hey, man,
that way.
it happens
I
to
thought,
all
too,
of
that
us.
there was a conversation that could be had instead of talking to friends.
Stop.
Like, talk to me.
No.
But, like, I guess it don't work like that.
Nah.
It's not Hollywood, dude. It is what it is.
It's not an A24 movie or whatever.
And one of the things you're the angriest about is not who she is, but you're mad internally at yourself because you wrote a story inside your head about who she was and what was going to happen. And right now you're a little mad at yourself because you let down your guard and you betrayed yourself.
Absolutely. I'm such an idiot.
And probably all along the way, Tyrone, probably she was dropping hints.
Like, that sucks.
Was she dropping hints all along the way that she wasn't who you thought she was, but you told yourself otherwise because you wanted it to be?
Yeah, she has red flags too. She's acting like I'm like the only one. Like, oh, she's not. I know it's just, but it's why
you didn't start
conversations about each other's flaws.
Hedging your bets? You ain't got a side thing or a backup thing or nothing like that? It's just you were dedicated to just this one?
I mean, I can pick things up, but I just don't want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was here. I was committed. I was cool with it. I was like, because she gave me all the signs and was kind of giving me the same communication back. When I would say things, she would like lean in and like grab me and like, oh yeah, I want that. And
I like that energy. There's other women that'll give you that energy out there, and they got the same good.
It gave me back and forth. Like, well, what do you want then? Then, like, well, just that's what I mean with communication. Well, the communication was off then. Like, I'll give you.
You know all those
things, but
you know all those farm fresh eggs you left on her doorstep.
Yeah.
Go back, leave one there. And then take 11 and give 11 to 11 other ladies. Because you don't leave all of your eggs
in one
basket, dude.
Leave them all on the side of her door.
But go back to swiping, man. You think she's the only thing because that's the only thing you're allowing yourself to think about. Go for a walk, dude. Go get drunk. Go do something. Don't sleep.
I've done meditating. I've worked out. I've gone kayaking. I'm about to do a big kayak race. I've done
ice baths.
Worked out an hour a day. I can't do it.
Oh, it sucks when you're in.
It
sucks when you're in this hole.
You're gonna be all right, man. Did Oliver have some advice?
No, dude.
Stud Muffin?
Keep your head up, King.
Keep your head up.
You can't blame yourself, man. You don't know what pressure she's got baggage. We all have baggage. But she's got some baggage, and we don't know if maybe somebody came back into her life or if there was kid issues or what. You can't put it all on yourself. You made some mistakes. You made some rookie mistakes.
Negative about her. What was a bad physical thing about her you didn't like? She had a nasty toe. Did she? What was it? What? Stop romanticizing.
The way I would look at it, man, is if she wasn't into you the same manner that you were into her, is that really something that would have worked out? Wouldn't you want someone that ideally like reciprocates your feelings?
Well, yeah, that's true. But every relationship,
well, that's what I'm saying. He's not lamenting the actual relationship. He's lamenting the relationship he built up in his head. That's what I mean by that. We're saying this in different ways, but because if he could step out of the relationship in his head and see the relationship for what it was, he'd be like, "Woo, dodge a bullet." You know what I mean? But we don't see it that way because
I was telling myself that last night. I was like, dang, imagine yourself married 10 years and now y'all hate each other and you're getting a divorce and she's being like mean as hell to you and like you're giving up all your stuff and now that like little kid that you attached to doesn't really like you so much anymore.
Right, dude.
All these thought exercises.
Right.
And
you're not my daddy.
Like,
you're not my daddy.
You're not my daddy.
Yeah, it's like, I don't even want you here anymore. It's like, I don't do all that stuff.
You avoided all that.
Oh, dude.
There's somebody for you, man. I know you. There's somebody for you.
But for God's sake, do not show up to her work or her house.
Yeah, you
again,
can't. You
man.
got
do
it,
not
dude.
do that.
I'm not doing that ever again. That was done.
It has to stop altogether, dude. You got to stop thinking that those Yeah, you got to stop thinking that those are romantic overtures. They're not. At this point, she's already told you I need space, so she sees every one of those as creepy.
Yeah,
I don't want to hurt your feelings, but she probably thinks you jizzed in a soup. I probably can't say that. Probably. She's gonna think that you did something gross. You doctored in that soup, and so she's not even. That's going down the drain, dude.
This was the entire drive of me driving over there of like, all right, if I was in her situation and I show up and I open my door and I see a bag of soup and some eggs, I'm going to be like, what the F is this?
Yeah.
Bro, the first second of disinterest you feel, I'm at the strip club where I'm hitting my old piece.
Yeah, dude, the one thing doesn't make
I don't know what to tell you.
The other thing is that soup and eggs is not, you can't find that on any menu anywhere. You can find soup and salad, soup and sandwich, but you cannot go to La Madeleine right now and order soup and eggs because it's not a thing that ladies are into, okay? So you already made the mistake there. She's like, this doesn't, what does this guy think? What's this guy think my diet is?
It's just like boxing, man. Protect yourself at all times.
But here's the deal. Now you know these things. You knew them. We've pointed it out to you. You knew it before you called us. You had the answer before you called us.
Kind of had to.
But we're reinforcing the fact that we are telling you that you made some errors, and now you know that now, and don't repeat them.
Yep.
With the next person, this is a teachable.
Man, I feel lighter.
It's a teachable moment, right?
All right,
you know
what are you
these
gonna
things
do?
now.
What are we doing going forward? What's your move?
Well,
What's your game plan?
I'm not going to simp out. I'm going to keep focusing on me and doing my training for this race I'm doing. But then I'm going to not be showing up and putting all my eggs in one basket.
That's right. Spread them eggs around, and then pick the best basket you think, and then put the rest of the eggs in there? I don't know.
I just can't wait to stop thinking that this was the basket that I wanted, though. I'm like, man, I still just keep thinking like,
the only way is to find a bunch of other baskets.
Okay, do you do me a favor? Will you call us back in 8 months so we can all laugh about how you thought this was the only basket for you, and as soon as you find another one, you're like, oh,
sure.
this
And
is
like-
probably a good one, too.
Like Bob said, he knows who I am, so I will be around. And so if I don't bring it up in 8 months, make him bring it up, and y'all can laugh at me. That's fine.
Well, we're heading into some exciting times.
I know that's the
and you're in a community that that you're going to meet people.
Yep.
So take this knowledge. Like I said, you knew what we were going to say before you called us. You knew it.
I know. I just wanted y'all to tell me to not drop off these eggs, but I already did. And I was like, oh well, I already
It's all
did.
right. You got it. You got to call.
well.
The next time you're about to call her, call us before you do it.
Unfollow and block.
Yeah, it's the
Unfollow,
Dow.
block.
Have you ever? You got to watch that movie, The Tao of Steve.
Yeah.
It's old now, but it's 30 years old, but the principles are still there.
Same.
You've got to make an entrance. You have to do something
incredible in her presence,
and then you got to split.
You got to disappear.
And you got to disappear.
But you didn't do those things. You did the first two steps, and then you didn't do the third. And then she said, okay, now I want to watch you disappear, and you still couldn't do it. And she was like, uh-oh.
You got to beat him to the disappearing part.
Clinging, yeah.
And then she told me straight up, she's like, you're throwing me a lot of red flags right now. I'm asking you to leave, and you won't. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm not.
Yeah, I call the police.
Yeah, dude, it stings to hear, but because I know you.
Bro, I don't get that. The moment you feel unwanted, at least in my case, I'm gone. I'm
Me too.
I'm hollering at somebody else.
That was my thing.
No, I've made the mistake.
I mean, I guess I've done it once or
Did you
twice,
put the
too.
hand on the car hood to see if the engine was warm?
I had ladies who said I'm done, and I wasn't. I wasn't ready to be done before. Yeah, I have done it in my life, and it is cringe inducing. Literally,
absolutely.
I'm telling you, the feeling
right now.
The last time I did that was more than 20-something years ago. It still hurts my gut to think about that someone said to me, hey, I'm done. But I was like, well, I'll just put in the extra effort. I can win you back. Movies broke our brains. Books broke our brains. We think, oh, I can romantically fix this. She'll see how I'm wonderful. And the thing is, the only thing that could possibly change you back into wonderful is, look, have you ever broken up with a girl?
Yeah, the one right before this.
Okay. Have you ever seen that girl out with another guy then and thought, oh, she looks kind of hotter than I remember? And the only thing that's going
no.
Oh, well, the only thing that's going to change her mind is maybe if you get on, if you're living your life well, that's what women find attractive. And
yeah, you should be happy. Like in today's age, you should be like, man, well, at least I get to holler at so and so. Like, whew. Happy got out of that
Again,
one.
Bob knows me. I feel like I am living my life. Like, I'm doing my thing, but I'm just like...
Oh, you know this guy? Bob?
Give it time. Give it time. Give it a little time, and I'll be okay.
You'll be all right, man. But don't make those mistakes.
Is this one of your sons?
We've all done it. No.
If you don't have her number memorized, delete the number and delete the messages, and you'll be good, bro.
Yeah, it's good. Just get
and
away
just
from
give
that.
yourself some
And
grace.
here's
Give
the other
yourself
thing.
some grace that you made some mistakes and that you were in the throes of passion. You're not the first guy to make these mistakes.
Yeah.
I've done it. You know.
And look,
let's crack.
There's going to be 6 months from now where she's going to try to holler again, and you have to do that for what it is.
No.
It's just a night.
No, if she hits you back up, man, you play it off. Don't even respond, my guy.
Nah,
don't even
you respond.
No,
You just don't
that's
invest.
the
You get a
part
little
that
bit
I
of candy,
played
and then
in
you're
my
like,
head.
sorry.
Hey,
It ain't the same, girl.
T, we got to go because let's pivot. Let's do our break right
Yeah,
here
man, it's been a
so that
while.
we can
I
throw in
appreciate y'all
spouse
so
rules.
much.
Yeah, man. Thanks for
Get
the
out
call,
there,
dude. You'll be all right. Forgive yourself.
We're wishing
and
you
move
all
on.
the best.
Have a guy's night or something. Take care.
All right.
Whew.
Yeah.
I brought back some horrible memories.
I know. And that's that was me more in my 20s than my 30s, though, I think.
It doesn't matter what period in your life is. When you build a fairy tale in your house, I'm not saying you should not have no romance or no hopes because they won't get anywhere.
Right.
But when you build a fairy tale and you're not being honest with yourself about what's in front of you, you get yourself into trouble.
I'm at 37. I don't know. You think you know how to maneuver?
No,
But I guess
dude,
it
you
hits
never know.
everybody.
You never know
when one hits you hard like that.
It does. When it gets you in the nuts because you don't see it coming, it's
can
hard.
regress.
I mean, yeah.
Let's do the break real quick. Or you want to go to phones?
I mean, we got a couple of calls. I don't know.
Because I was trying to get your Toxic Tuesday still in for you, but maybe we'll do it later.
We could combine both breaks. There's 2-minute breaks.
Okay.
Let's go to this caller. Caller.
What is today? Toxic butthurt?
Mm-hmm.
You should get ladies to call in and tell this dude how to really get over it. I mean, it's sad. I mean,
and how long have you been divorced, sir?
I've never been married, Chewy. This is Uber Joe.
Uber Joe? Why haven't you been married?
Because I'm a firm believer in hookers and housekeepers. I grew up with 5 older sisters.
Okay, but you understand how then you're not in. That guy's not a firm believer in that. So we got to talk to him like he needs to hear, right?
You watched all the rom-coms.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing about it is that it's 2024, man. You should be able to get over it by now. 37, right?
Do you want another guy out there competing for rides against you?
Fair enough.
If you've already, the reason you're a perfect Uber driver is because you've already said, I want to be alone and I want small conversations with strangers. That's what you said to the universe.
Why you gotta go and turn it back on me, man?
I'm not turning. I'm observing the world. That's what I do. I'm not judging you. I'm observing you.
I think I'm going to call back tomorrow and beat this guy tomorrow.
Well, you got a little side action or something? What do you got going that you're so well adjusted?
I'm just chilling, dude, man. You just as you get older, you realize, come on, man.
I tell you, I was jealous this morning. There's a little thing this morning getting an Uber ride at 5 in the morning, and I know exactly what
she was doing.
Yeah. I was like, damn, it's been a while.
Those are called the rides of shame.
I love them.
I mean?
Bless you, girl.
It's the afterwards where there's a little bit of hint of smell of this and a little hint of smell of that where you know what they were doing.
Well, that's a ride of shame, but somewhere inside that apartment, there's a guy doing the sleep of victory.
I love that one. I love that one. You need me to walk you out? All right.
No, you're good? All right, sweetheart.
Click
click.
Don't let the dog out. Don't let the dog out.
Before she answers.
You leave. Right?
Thank you, Uber Joe. Player's going to play. Apparently. Caller, what's up?
All right, so best advice that I got from my daddy when I was younger was always be sweet to the lady. Always.
Yeah, leave things better than you found it. Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm talking about like from elementary all the way up. I've been married 21 years, so this is a past me. But what I think this caller needs to do is just be sweet to her. And if she wants to go put her toes in other waters, so be it. Because if you're sweet to her, then she's always going to come back to you. And if she, it doesn't matter if she's going out, doing other things. That's her business.
But we're human beings. We want to
but
possess someone else.
He got his vision got distorted about what sweet was. And her interpretation of that, thought he was being sweet, but her interpretation was, red flag.
Yeah.
So it's in the eye of the.
But the moment she wanted to walk away, you should have said, "Well, okay." But if you ever need if you ever want to talk or whatever, or if you ever want to go out and have a coffee or whatever it is that they do, call me.
Hey, one of the world's greatest philosophers once said, if you love somebody, set them free.
Yeah.
Free, set them free.
Pretty good bass player, too.
He also said, don't stand so close to me. And Roxanne, you don't have to turn on your love light. He said a lot of great things.
He also said, put the message in the bottle or whatever.
Yeah. He also was walking on the moon.
He was walking on the moon. He had another big hit.
Thank you, Skeet. That's some good advice,
Thanks,
man.
Skeet.
Appreciate you.
Skeet.
This might as well be
our Toxic Tuesday for the day.
Let's take David right now. I mean, this could just be general human condition and how we approach breakups and different things like that. David.
Hey, guys. Good morning. I want to get what y'all are taking because I'm down a little bit, okay?
All right. Tell me
I got one for y'all. I got one. You know how y'all got AT&T or Sprint or whatever you call it, Verizon?
Yeah.
I want to get an app, you know how it echoes, that you can hear your call again. You know what I mean?
Oh, so because you want to hear the things that you're saying?
Yeah, because sometimes I say stuff, I'll talk a little fast. My girlfriend says I say this, and, I hollered in my sleep one night, Brenda, but I said Linda. Like lend us some money. I'm playing. But, I'm glad to hear y'all. Y'all got a really great show.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. It's good to hear that Type 5 is coming along.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I got a question. How come that one guy on the radio, he sounds like a Baseball Tonight analyst? You know what I'm talking about?
Baseball Night analyst?
Yeah, it's like Baseball Tonight. He's a pitcher for the Reds, I think.
Could be Bob.
The guy on there, all due respect, he got a voice that's noticeable.
Like what was his name? Bob Uecker?
Oh, yeah.
Like Harry Carey?
Is it that the voice?
Oh, my
or is
God.
this the voice that's driving you crazy?
No, it's a younger guy, probably in his late 40s.
Yeah, younger than you, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah,
Y'all
how little, like that? That kind of voice?
No, it's kind of muffled.
Is it me? That's kind of bassy like this?
Are you saying
That's
right?
you.
That's me?
That's the guy right now. Chewy, is that you talking?
Yeah, that's me talking. You never heard me talk?
That's the voice.
No, I thought
You
for
got the
sure.
voice.
I thought he was talking about my rock and roll news voice.
And
so
I
I go
can
a little
announce
Harry
for who?
Carey with it.
I'll announce for somebody.
Well, I used to umpire, okay?
Coming to the main stage.
You're striking
David.
out right now.
Oh, sweet. I didn't realize we had a blind caller.
Put some glasses on.
I can't see you. Hey, you know what the little girl told me?
Oh, I don't want it.
Which little
She
girl?
said, you need glasses. You can't see. I called her out, and I put them on. I said, you're out again. Love y'all.
All right. Thank you, David.
Man, he's got tight. You know what?
Can I say something?
I think Eddie Gosling should hire him to open his show.
His comedy career is going as well as his umpiring career.
I like a person that tells you he's funny.
What did we learn today? Because we didn't get spouse rules.
We didn't get that.
Well, that's evergreen. That's evergreen.
It is evergreen.
I feel like we saved a life.
Yeah.
Whether man or woman in this situation.
I feel for the dude, though. I mean, a younger me on the show would have just... we would have made fun of him, called him names or whatever. But as you get older, you start to see humans more as for who and what they are, right?
Yeah, but who was this?
It doesn't
she
take.
like
It
Sydney
doesn't.
Sweeney or something? Like, why is
It has, dude. You don't
know.
You can get
We don't know.
tore. You can get tore up over a girl that's a zero. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with. I see the face that you're making.
I was looking at Oliver.
You can get tore up over anyone. It has to do with you letting go of reality in your head and building a different story. Also, sometimes
remember that line
you're
in Pulp
just in a
Fiction?
place in your life where you don't want to be the one who's let go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, your hormones or something, you don't want to be lonely at that time. And if it had been a week later, maybe he would have been the one who was just like, I don't think I'm into this.
That's true.
But when you get cleaved at the knees and all of a sudden you're like, wait a
On
minute.
Valentine's
you feel
Day.
like you're out of control in your life. You feel like, oh my God, there's no brakes. The steering isn't working on my life. What the F is going on? And so you make it all about the relationship, but it really has to do with a lot more going on.
It's your pride talking to you, Butch. Remember that from Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
When Ving Rhames slaps the back of his neck and goes, that's your pride talking to you.
I don't know. I mean, I've definitely been
there.
broken up over some breakups. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Some are more traumatic than others.
I painted a picture for a girl.
But that
once.
was
She
like
didn't want
early
it.
20s.
She didn't want my stupid ass painting.
Oh no, I'm petty, man. The moment it goes downhill, or like there's a sign of like, hey, like
You're
I'm
out.
not as I'm like, nope, that's it, game's over.
That's
Done.
right. Really? Where's
Done.
the
Yeah,
Fred
no,
Flintstone?
no.
Where's the Fred Flintstone sound? Yeah, that's what you got to be.
Yeah, I don't
That's
do that
Vinny
no- I
Oliver?
don't do that no more.
You got to
bro.
be. You got to disappear.
I mean,
You're no longer useful.
So a girl breaks up with you, you take your board and you hop right on it and start pumping out.
There you go. Dunzo.
Kick,
Hit
push,
that ramp.
kick.
Where is it? We haven't played it in a long time for him.
Oh,
Where is it?
where's the theme song?
I got rid of it for the gong.
So we don't even have
He
Skater
hasn't
Boy
been here in
anymore?
like 3-4 months.
Well, then
So,
how are we supposed to
sorry.
start fights?
Well,
there we go.
I forgot what I was going to say.
That's
I
okay.
don't know. In today's day and age, it's just you can start a new life in an instant.
I'm just good at communicating, you know. So if like what I want from someone doesn't align, that's cool. That's not a reflection of them in any sort of way, you know. But I'm not also gonna force something that's not there, and I'm not gonna like do this like, oh, we can have small talk. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, it's
I wish
cool,
I had that
do your
power.
thing.
So do you
I wish I had
vibe
that
immediately?
What's up?
You vibe immediately with people or
No,
women?
you build up to it. Okay, like I got a girl's number, right? It was going really well, and then she was like, and we communicated up front, like, hey, what are the expectations that you're seeking to get from this, right? And then she was like, well, like a month down the line, she was like, oh, like I'm not really sure, you know, like I don't really know what I'm looking for, and then there was one time when we made plans. And she was really bad about communicating about them, and then last minute she canceled, and I was like, okay, like that's cool, no worries. Like I'm not gonna take it personally, but I am also don't like my time wasted, and I feel like I'm both wasting my time and your time by trying to force something that obviously isn't there. And I sent her a very polite message of like, hey, I think we're in different phases of what we're doing here, like no harm done. You have my number if you want to like get coffee or something, or you change your mind, awesome, but like that's it for me.
Okay, I want to ask you guys.
I don't think you're that mature.
I want to ask you an important question about dating and relationships. In just a second, let me float one that we're behind on. Okay.
All right.
Let's talk a little bit about Airco. Give me 60 seconds, and then I want to ask you kind of a philosophical question, but I think it applies maybe to everybody in this room and maybe everybody out there, and to dudes. I can't speak to ladies and how
No,
they
they're
feel.
crazy.
No, that's not what I was trying to.
I'm kidding.
Are you?
I'm in love with one.
There's a little part. If only the feelings were mutual, right?
Yeah.
Can you be good in a relationship if you've never been crushed before?
That is philosophical, almost existential.
I don't think anybody can really be good in a relationship.
Any relationship.
At all?
No.
What do you mean?
Because you have two different individuals from different background environments, different traumas. There's always going to be a constant struggle of personality types.
So you think that Bob and Jennifer don't really like each other? They're not good at what they're
I
not
think
good
there
at a
are times
relationship.
where they don't like each other. I
Can I
think
ask
they
you a
love each
question?
other completely.
Oh, we almost broke up in 2009.
But I think there's going to be moments where
Okay.
y'all philosophically do not land.
Let me ask you this question. You said you can't be good at a relationship just flat out. Who do you think's better at relationships, Jennifer or Bob?
Oh, you know, that depends, because y'all have two different situations. Completely different situations.
No. That is you. Sir, you are trying to skirt the question.
Okay, fine. If I had to choose,
Hostile witness.
let me say whose position I would rather be in, I guess.
No. Who's better at the relationship, Jennifer or Bob?
You make your wife cry on a weekly.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Monthly.
Okay.
That's reasonable.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
And Bob, I don't know if he has as long of a leash as I think he does.
Why can't you just say Bob's not as good as Jennifer?
I've never thought about
You can't
this.
hate me more than I hate
and
myself.
I don't know how y'all are
can't-
really treating this like a competition. I've never actually weighed any
She's
of this.
more
Ask Oliver
equipped for a
first.
relationship than me. I'm too insecure and all. She's totally secure. Doesn't like she looks at me sometimes like I don't even know what depression is. Why are you sad? Like I don't know that feeling.
And that's two personality types coming together.
But
what? Honest question.
I think, and we talk about it a lot. I do some of the things that she can't do.
Chewy, I just
you
think
know what I
don't
mean.
have,
Like we're
like
different
fit into
people.
animals.
No,
Chewy, I just don't think you have an idea of what a healthy relationship looks like.
Getting
Man.
something from the top shelf.
How is your relationship going?
I'm single.
Why?
I choose to be.
Okay. We all saw that movie, dude. We all saw that movie.
All right. And why are women not providing you with healthy relationships? Your idea of a healthy relationship?
We've gone through this. I just think there's different, like, there's.
Whoa, wait, hang on. Show breaks. I know we're in the middle of something, but where did you get that Waterloo Media pullover?
Are you stealing again?
We've gone through this.
Oh, is that
again.
the Lizetta
It's
one?
got my name on it. Somewhere.
Is that the one that says Lizetta on the back?
No, they gave me this for Employee of the Month, bro.
So now you have
Employee of the Month gets something nice like that now?
Hey man.
You're supposed to just get a gift card.
You're not at that level yet. You know, you'll get there.
I was
Which gift
Employee of
card
the
you
Month
choose?
one time. I didn't get no.
What?
Which gift card you choose?
Mozart's. Okay. I think I lost it the same day too.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
That was that. You were just going there to meet women anyway.
But continue on.
I don't know what we're talking about.
We were talking about healthy relationships and what.
And you were just saying, you choose
I asked,
not-
why are these women not offering you healthy relationships?
No, that's not. No, you said like relationships are like I don't know. Relationships are always gonna be work, man. You're not gonna be with someone
That's what I told these guys.
Well, yeah, but
right
you
here.
made it seem super negative, man. Like you're
Yeah.
always gonna have arguments with someone. It's about how you deal with them, my guy.
You want
Okay, I mean, you took it as negative. I just said no, but we're never. There's going to be places where you'll never see eye to eye with a partner.
Relationships can be work because dudes, by nature, don't want to put in the effort. You put in a tiny bit of effort. You put in a tiny
what?
bit of effort. Tiny bit of effort.
Explain effort.
And it will pay back tenfold.
Explain effort.
Being considerate.
Listen.
I need specifics.
Like, what do you mean by specifics?
You have to listen in detail to her story at work and name all the people. If she pop quizzed you at the end, you'd know all the stuff?
Okay, fine. Sure, that could be one of them.
Okay.
Why did you say that so negatively? What you're saying is you don't want to put in the effort.
I said it as a challenge.
You're saying you don't want to put in the effort.
Okay, let's look at what effort means and understand if that's a challenge or not.
I'm just saying it doesn't seem like you've been in like a relationship that's like, you know what you're doing.
Oh,
I understand.
Yeah, that's
you
all
want
I'm
to step
saying.
out, man?
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
Explain, please
All this
expound.
brown on brown crime here all of a sudden.
I'd like Oliver to expound.
I don't know, man. Just the way you talk about relationships, it seems like if something gets difficult, you're like, all right, this is too much work for me. I'm going to dip out. When
You just said that you're gone as soon as somebody expresses a little bit of disinterest.
But that's not in a relationship. That's building up to a relationship.
Which you've never been in.
I've been in multiple.
When's the last one?
Oh, okay, that's a good. Yeah, okay, you got me on that one.
Okay.
Like 3 years? 3?
Okay.
You were together with a woman for 3 years?
No, it was 3 years ago. I was with a woman for about 2.
For 2 years?
And before,
3 years ago.
before that, it was 3, and then before that, it was 4.
So 5 years ago,
You're
he got into
18
one.
years old. How are you having all these relationships?
Well, no. All the relationships that I've been in have been with a woman where I was like, okay, like I want this to be like a more consistent part of my life, and thus I've dated them for longer periods of time than just dating a bunch of.
And why'd you break up with her?
Wait, which one? The last one?
Yeah.
She broke up with me.
Yeah. Wasn't a healthy relationship? She wasn't feeling it anymore?
No, I just think we had different things in our life going on. I was still in the music industry, so I was going on tour a lot and things like that. And, she was like a very fixated of like, oh, I want my life to be very organized and very like.
So you didn't put in any effort?
No, it's not that I didn't put in effort. I tried. It just seemed like we had different lifestyles.
Tell this fella what a healthy relationship is supposed to be, guys. Y'all are married.
To answer your question.
The silence says it all.
To answer your question.
I just don't like you casting stones with a zero example of what you've accomplished there. You come with a level of confidence that I don't know what it's backed from. And that's why I like you to expound on all these things, because you might have that knowledge.
And okay, granted, okay, look, I'll give you some leeway here in that I'm judging this based off of your responses when we have these kinds of questions, but, so that's superficial. I don't know anything about your
It is surface value, sure. Absolutely.
No, I don't think you have to go through like some sort of like disaster or like, I don't know the specific word that you use to be in a healthy relationship. I think it depends on the individual.
Sorry, you're talking to me and I can't hear you. I just got terrible news from my family and now I can't hear the conversation.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Going to break?
Ignore me. No, just go ignore me and go to the...
Go to the calls?
Yeah.
All right. Caller, what's up?
Hey, yeah, Chewy, it sounds like you've never actually just been in love, because when you're in love with someone, it's not work. I mean, you don't think about it as, God, I really got to work at this relationship. I mean, I understand what you're saying when you're first dating and you just want to get laid and have sex, but if you're in love with someone, none of that stuff is work. I mean, it's not hard.
Love is blind.
And you are, how long have you been married to your love?
I have been married 31 years, and I've dated the same woman since 1988.
Okay.
So
Well, I mean,
it's
it's hard
not
to-
work at all. I get
And
where you're
why aren't
saying
other
that you're
people
not
like
in
you?
Huh?
There
There's
are
plenty of people like
tons of
No,
people
but
like him.
Today, in today's age, you think a lot of them are lasting 30 years.
Yeah.
I've been together with my wife. Friday will be 16 years, and it's not been hard.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed
I
it.
just don't think you've ever been in love with someone.
I have been. I mean, definitely thought about buying rings in my early 20s.
That's not love.
The stripper doesn't
It's somebody
count,
where you bring joy. Like every time you're around that person, you feel like joy.
I'm gonna be in your corner right now and tell you better stop poking the monkey in the monkey house.
I don't know why buying a C ring suddenly means love.
He's a heavyweight champ, all right? Okay. And when the leather starts flying, I don't want to be around.
Around what age did you fall in love, sir?
We were probably in love, like where I just wanted to make that person happy. Probably about 3-4 years after high school, about the time I proposed. I mean, we dated for 4.5 years before we got married.
All right, that's solid. And this isn't in the definitely not the time of internet dating and apps and everything. So,
oh God, no, 1988. No, we didn't have it.
You might not have stood a chance then.
Well, you look at all the barriers you put up to you that you discount everything. You're just like, nah, it doesn't exist because it was a
Y'all are
different
literally
time.
saying I've never been in love before, and I haven't said any damn thing about
I'm not
my
saying that.
past. But the fact of the matter is, I have been in love a couple of times.
Yeah.
What marriage was considered, in stuff that I can't even say on the radio because of how it would say reflect my image, I guess. But yeah, I've done a lot of things to make someone happy because you like seeing them happy, and being around them makes you happy. So you make sure that they
But
want to
did you
have a
get
pleasant
so hurt
environment.
from there that you don't want to go back to that?
I mean, there's probably always going to be a level of attachment that you never get to because you know what comes out the other side. And it doesn't matter. You ask Bob, who's been married 3 times. It can happen at any
Your
single
rights
time.
are being raided now,
It could
too.
happen in this 31st year, sir.
It's a learning experience.
We've had callers like that as well.
Here's what I
now,
learned.
to say that I'm not in love, what is love? Is it something you experience with everybody?
Here's
is it
what I
something you
learned.
experience with just one person and it lasts 30 years? Is it something that can last a summer?
Take
There's
my
a song called
advice.
Summer Lovin'.
Get a background check.
Talking about how much hard work it is. If you love, I mean, when you were in love, did you think, "Oh my God, I'm working so hard at this"? Did you? Is that what? Because that's what you were saying earlier. Is it? It's not hard. If you truly love someone, it's not hard work. That's what I'm saying.
What's
I'm not
crazy
saying
is that there's an amount of married people, not me, that will say, you know what, love and staying together is hard
Well-
work. You got to do it. So tell me which one of you is right.
I agree with Chewy on this one.
So which one of you is giving the right advice and
There's
the real
different
advice and
forms
making me
of
wrong?
love. I see people in relationships that what I call the love is bliss relationship, that they don't really question it. It just goes on and they're happy. I'm in a relationship where we constantly debate and talk about our status. And that's not
Is that
that's
healthy?
not the no, it's probably not, but I don't know if that head in your sand, head in the sand blissful love is reality either.
He's talking to you, sir.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying. I'm not accusing that guy of that. But I'm from the camp that love is very hard.
And can y'all debate that and not have me involved? Because you're married in a successful marriage, and so is this guy.
Well, you know that's I don't know who's to say it's
Tell us
something
why
is
it's
successful.
hard. Why is it difficult? Why
Because
does it take work?
you're constantly questioning.
And do you think
questioning what?
The situation.
The situation or the relationship?
No, not the relationship. We know what I think we know
every
what
circumstance
each person brings to the table. She constantly reinforces me and says, "I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad we're together. You can do the things that I can't." Well, like it's not just love; it's a partnership.
But what is the thing? When you say you're
business.
constantly questioning, what is it? The thing that you're questioning? What does that mean? What's a concrete example?
Do you know the kind of people? I'm not. I'm
Don't get
answering
mad
your
at me.
question
I'm
with
just
a
asking
question.
you,
No, because
yeah.
I can't. I don't have the words.
Okay.
I don't have the vocabulary. But you know the people that I'm talking about that seem to be in some kind of blissful. They're either doing it for the kids. I see people in relationships that are happy that are doing it for reasons that I couldn't be happy in a relationship with. I couldn't accept that. I couldn't accept just being in a relationship to make the kids happy. But there are people that works for them, and that's love to them, and that's what they do. That's not my idea of a blissful
Well, congratulations.
relationship.
Your kids aren't happy, so you succeeded there.
Right. No, you know what I mean.
Set him straight, caller.
You know what I mean. Everybody has their reasons.
Tell him he's not in love.
I know guys in relationships, or I don't know any currently, but that were happy because they were with somebody that bought all their clothes and cooked all their food, and they didn't have to, like, basically married their mother.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in blissful, happy relationship.
Really? Is the lady happy?
That I don't know. I can't answer.
Sounds like it's effortless on
I
his
gotta
side.
say, yeah, it sounds like it's effortless on his side. But how is she doing?
She might, because she might have had the need to. She might be the nurturing kind. Might have had the need to.
Man, congrats to the two of them for finding each other.
But you know these guys. Would you let your wife pick out your clothes?
No.
No. But there's some guys that
You
I
really
knew a guy
should.
that worked in this very room.
Says the guy that only wears graphic T-shirts.
Let's get back.
Graphic T-shirts.
Let's get back to the caller.
But so every relationship is it's constructed different.
And I think we're coming at it from like an objective, absolute, like how this is the way these things work.
That's
When
how this
they're
caller
not.
was saying.
When they're not. I mean, it differs from relationship to relationship.
If a relationship has struggle or strife, that means they're not in love.
Here's the deal: if it works, it works. I'm not saying the two kinds of relationships I just described, where somebody is codependent on another person. If it works, it works. If it works for both of you, it works, and then that's love. I don't think there's one kind of love.
I never said you can't argue or talk. I mean, I'm just saying that it is not hard work. If you love,
it can be extremely hard work.
Loving somebody isn't hard work.
They can be extremely
I'll
hard
agree
work.
with that.
And let me tell you
love
this:
a lot of
in
people.
any relationship, somebody's working harder than the other, in all kinds of different ways, either to make the relationship go or anything. It's impossible that you both are putting exactly the same amount in. Impossible.
Okay.
It's statistically impossible.
Or love each other the same amount.
I think you guys are both being
Yeah, are you
anecdotal.
are you measuring your relationship that way?
No, but he's the one that said it.
He just said it's easy. Is all.
And then you're doing
Easy for is it? Would she say the same thing?
Probably, yeah. We've been
Probably.
together 31. We've not had,
Sir, your number of years in, though, and I'm not saying you're not in a habit, but,
You're just complacent.
but your number of years in means nothing. There are people on this planet that have been miserable that are still in relationship. They don't know how to get out.
But he's saying he's been happy for 31 years. So shouldn't we listen? Shouldn't we listen to something he has to say?
Let's get her number.
Let's call her up.
Let's
if we
call
call her up and
her
ask
up.
her,
Let's
everything's
call
good?
her.
I'm about to file for divorce with this man.
Yeah. No, you guys.
I can't take another day.
It is funny. It should be
Wow.
our own Toxic Tuesday that a guy called her and said, "I'm happy in a relationship," and both of you are like, "No, you're not. You're lying. You're full of
That's not
it."
what he said.
No.
He said a relationship is easy when you're in love.
He did say he was happy.
Also,
Yes.
a lot of times that I've seen a woman break up with a guy, he never saw it coming.
No.
He said stuff exactly like this. And then
you
all of
guys
a
are just bitter, man.
I know, dude.
God,
It's so wonderful. It's so
I think
wonderful.
we're being real. I think for us, we're just being real.
like because earlier you also said that you're like your love thing is like, oh, I love someone right now, but like I know how it's gonna end. Dude, that is some bitter stuff to say.
You have to
my
protect
guy.
yourself and prepare for any of that.
Protect yourself, my guy.
Yeah.
From something that might not even happen.
It doesn't mean that I'm not going to give in emotionally, but emotionally you have to prepare because I love hard, so I take it really hard. Oliver, I know you don't. You can just break up with whoever willy-nilly, and I can just leave, and I just whatever, and I'm never going to think about that
It's
person
so good.
again. I think about a
everybody.
breakup 10 years ago
I've never
all
said
the time.
that. I've never said that because
So to say that I don't love, I might love the hardest out of everybody in this room, and it could explain why I approach things
That's
the way
why
I do
I'm
currently.
saying it's different for everybody, and I'm happy for you, sir, that you are in that kind of relationship.
Don't let
Toast.
But I think
Toast to you, sir.
there are different levels. And I think there are different kinds of relationships. It depends on who you're with.
You're setting the blueprint for us, sir.
But I don't
You're
think
missing
I
the-
don't think it's easy. I think it's not. I don't think it's designed to be easy. I think it.
God. Yeah,
It's a lot easier
well-
without. Do you have kids?
Yes, I have two. Both of them grown. I have an autistic son and a daughter in college.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, no, not awesome about the first part, but I mean, I'm just saying.
You did say it like an accomplishment. Bob.
Awesome that you guys have worked through all that stuff, and that you're.
I also don't think this guy
I'm not coming. I don't want you to think I'm coming at you. I'm just trying to say that every relationship is different and constructed in,
I think
in a
we're all
different
mad
way.
because you have the ideal relationship.
Yeah, I
sir.
think
you
I
have the
think
ideal.
I think relationships can be different. This guy's relationship is built on love and happiness.
I would
And
have
that's
been
a
you.
real issue for us.
If the first girl I fell in love with at 22 that I was really in love with would have stayed with me, we probably would have stayed together for 30 years. But that doesn't happen, sir.
I don't think this guy means like it's a cakewalk. I just
It
think that
happens for you. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
All right, and if this chick wouldn't have married you, what would your life have been like?
I don't know. I probably would have tried to find someone else. I'm not the type of person to sit under a rock and go, well, this one didn't work, so none of them can.
Sir, be honest. Are you
you're right.
sorry that you called?
Half of us are married.
Are you regretting your
Sir,
call?
what's been easier? 31 years of marriage and raising children, or this 15-minute phone call? Which has been easier for you, sir?
Did you know that you were going to be indicted?
I have to say my marriage is much easier than
Good for you. I'm happy for you, man.
This guy literally is going to go to a lawyer's and have papers drawn up for the show today because he's like, I want out of the show.
Dude, you
I
should-
can't take it anymore.
You should write a book, dude. You could be a bestseller.
apparently nobody would listen to it.
No,
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, it would sell it
You
in
got
the
the
fiction.
secret. You got the
The
secret.
fiction section is where they would have your
The
book, sir.
fantasy.
The fantasy.
We can't.
I hope I never grow as bitter as any of you.
You're already there, baby.
It's how the show has worked, though. If somebody comes to us from the department down the way and goes, guys, I got you 6 tickets to go see the concert of your life, we go, hey, probably in the back. They're not going to do probably back.
It's a weeknight.
I would take them and be like, thank you, I appreciate it.
But probably
But
got.
nobody offered him to Oliver, but
We're
he
gonna
still
have
took
to.
him.
We're gonna have to look at the
course.
back of Walt Makaborski's head the entire
I'll
time.
probably
You know what I
be
mean?
seated behind the TV
We
people.
always find a negative in everything.
Right.
It's one of the things that's made the show go, and it's why people like to listen because they like to go. These guys are terrible. They're idiots. They're broken, and they feel better about their lives.
Thank you, sir. Invite us to the 35th anniversary. We'll go. Bob will give a speech.
Don't you think with AI that, once that gets better, that we'll be able to find our perfect mates? I won't. I mean, we already have them, Matt and I. But I mean, don't you think there's a...
Don't do this to me. Don't. I'm already gonna have a really tough day when I get home today.
It seems like there's some types of people shouldn't be with certain types of people, and AI should be able to show us that eventually and go, yeah, dude, I know this looks good now, but this statistically doesn't work out.
Bob, what about
right? It's called Moneyball, right? Just like in baseball,
Like Jonah Hill.
right? Jonah Hill, right? They
Yeah.
should be able to tell you that.
What about those people that it's just gonna tell like, yo, there's no one out there for you?
You know what? There
That
might
may
be a
be.
person. There
It
might
might
be
be.
a person.
So-
where
And
there
one
isn't.
person, there's gonna be thousands, man. You're done. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no one for
I mean,
you.
thank
out there.
goodness
I'm
there's
super
escorts.
analytical about relationships, and there are people that aren't. I go through life going, what are the odds? It is impossible odds that, like, it drives me insane when people say, I've met my soulmate. Oh, out of the billions of people on the planet, you found the one.
They were in your zip code.
They just happened to be in your zip code.
They went to the same school as you.
Right? And I'm going, I'll settle for 95%, 97%. But I'm not going to be as bold as to say I found the exact one person that was meant for me. What are the odds? They were living in the same country, in the same zip code.
Also, this guy right now, we still have him on the line. We've also had him on air for 31 years.
I hate to say this, but what's the word I'm looking for? You adapt. You accept. I don't want to say settle because you're not settling, but it's close to that.
You can call it settling.
You get as close as you can get to the hole. Wait, that's a wrong analogy. I used a golf analogy when I shouldn't use a golf analogy. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think so. And I think we finally beat this guy's down.
You guys just mad he's happy.
Thank
Good
you,
for
sir.
you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Let's get you back to your perfect life, sir. Thank you. I think we gave him a taste of what's to come. David.
And I can say all these things because my wife's out of town.
David.
What's
up,
there
David?
you go. Well, I've been married 30 years, and I met my wife at the intersection of 2222 and 620. She was in her Volkswagen Rabbit, and I was in my pickup truck. I looked over. I said, hey, pull over. She pulled over. We met. We got a date. Been married for 30 years. I was the evil stepdad. And love is a many splendored thing, like the days of our lives, in the sands of the hourglass, and all our children. And you'll end up in General Hospital one of these days. And none of you guys are getting laid today.
Well, I don't know.
I guarantee you.
You just name a bunch of soap operas?
I am.
None of you guys are
I
getting
literally
laid.
have to go
we
home.
lost you.
I have to go home to a house that's going to cry for a couple of weeks. AISD has literally single-handedly ruined my family.
What?
Alternative intelligence.
All right, David.
Not artificial.
The rest of my year,
Take it easy, David.
and even decisions we've made about which city we're going to live in and where we're going to move and when we're going to move have all been destroyed with a decision that was just made by AISD.
Oh, boy.
And we'll get through it. It is what it is. But my daughter has been split off from all of her friends and is being sent to a different high school.
They can do that?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's what they've done.
The way you made it seem, I thought someone had died, Matt.
It's where
You don't understand.
you
That's
don't
big-
understand
that's
what it
big.
is
Yeah.
you don't understand what it is to have a child who's been. I can't get into her private life.
I'm not minimizing what you
Yeah,
said, by
it
the way.
is.
I think y'all can make some moves and make some calls and
I think I'm
letters.
gonna move out of the state.
Bob, write a letter. Can you write a letter for them?
No, I've been making so many decisions about my child and her friendships because it's been something that's been helping her. But, oof.
We got time for one more call, I guess. Caller, what's up? No? Let's go to this
we don't
caller.
have
The
time
caller,
for
what's
that.
up?
Y'all gonna play some Leonard Skinner?
Yeah, we're just
Dre,
about to
damn
do
right.
it, dude. We're just about to do it.
Manny, we got to go.
Enough relationship talk.
Orale!
Orale.
Real Manny?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey. My dad told me, boy, if you get half the women that I got, you're going to be a happy man.
It's about quantity, not quality, right?
And it's always love. Every time you get some, you're in love.
I feel it. I feel all funny.
Y'all came up with a good subject today. Orale.
Orale. Thank you, Manny.
Manny,
Appreciate you.
Army Navy store.
Oh, man.
All right, we got to go.
We do got to go.